digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Hi guys, and welcome to THFC till I die, till we die. Home Tottenham past, present, and exciting future under the mighty cockerel. And let's see how we get on tonight. Of course, it is the Tottenham versus Nottingham Forest watch along, and of course, we're going to bring you all the very latest from the greatest stadium in the all of all time, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which I think should be renamed White Hart Lane and should always be named. But the lineups are out, guys, and let's go through them with you. And this is the Tottenham lineup. We have a Vicario and goal. We've got Pedro Porro, Romero, captain, Van der Ven and Jens Spence as a back five. As a back five, we've got Passar, we've got Bentancur and Kulu in that midfield tree. And up front, we have an all-new front tree in Odegaard, Richarlison and Matthias Tell. And I tell you what, I think that's a damn well good lineup. A few changes from the game against Frankfurt on Wednesday, especially the front tree. Tell this start. So you've got Richarlison coming in, Odegaard coming in, Kulu making his first start after a little while. You've got Jed Spence coming in for your doggy. You've got Papa Sarr as well coming in. And I think that is a damn well good team. And I think between now and the end of the season, we have to keep it fresh. We have to keep rotating because we've got a potential Europa League final to play for. So it is so important, guys, that we do that. Substitutes for Tottenham, it is a Bergville and Bissouma. We've got Danso, we've got Ben Davies, Archie Gray, Brennan Johnson, Kingsky, and then James Madison as well. And of course, the youngster, we've got Dom Solanke as well. So the bench is strong. The lineup looks strong. And look, we will have a quick look over the Nottingham Forest lineup as well, where here we've got Sells in goal. We've got Murillo, William, Anderson, Gibbs, White, the captain, Wood, Tefilo, Dominguez, Eleniga, Danilo, and Milovic. And that is your Forest lineup. And look, it's going to be a tough game tonight, guys. No question about that whatsoever. Forest are riding high in the Premier League. And we haven't had the best of seasons, let's be fair. But, do you know, it's very tight. A win tonight, we'll go up to 13th in the league. And the Forest win tonight, they go back into the top 4. I think they go top 3. Big up to Leo Starman Coy's into High Domo. Big up Leo, how you well? And he says this will be treated as treated as a blow out for the boys. Your opinion, but I don't get what you're getting at, Gerard. To be fair, this will be treated as a blow out for the boys. I think I don't get what you're getting at, Gerard. So would you mind putting in again? I will give you my opinion if I can understand what you're trying to say. Big up to Matthew as well, guys. Big up Matthew. He says, big up Dermo. And look, and it is important tonight. Tonight is so important that this will be treated as a training session. I don't think so. I think it's important that we get as many points as we can. As I said, look, if we win tonight, we'll go up to 13th in the league. And it's important to show that we can continue that momentum and that goodwill that came from the Frankfurt game. But big up, Steve. Sorry to leave you in the lurch like that. And having you to represent the channel.
There's no need for apologies. There's no need for apologies, man. You know how it goes. We're pulling OT today, so it is what it is.
Yeah, and I know if something. I wanted to get off and get everything ready because I knew you were on at 7, and I just wanted to get off and have everything ready and done. This is the lineup, Steve. I went through it. Only a couple of 4 changes from the Frankfurt game. I think Richarlison, Odegaard, Kulu, and Spence start. And I think Sarr, I can't remember if Sarr started that game, but are you pleased with that lineup? I am, actually. I think that's a good lineup that can win tonight.
I think it's a strong 11. Now, I only had four changes for this upcoming week, for this game from Thursday, because I wanted to see that consistency from Thursday carry over. I wanted that momentum to carry over. I wanted that, that camaraderie. As we saw when Solanke buried that penalty, that entire team was up on their feet. It felt like this thing had potentially turned a corner, and I wanted to see that carry over. So I actually had Odegaard in for Johnson with Solanke and Tell up front, and then I did have Kulusevski and Sarr starting for Madison and Bergvall, and I actually had Jed Spence in for Pedro Porro. And the biggest reason is, when you look at how Nottingham Forest is going to try to attack this team up the flanks, you probably want that defensive consistency from Jed Spence on the right side versus the attacking prowess of Pedro Porro. But that being said, it looks like Ange has prioritized Pedro Porro and his front foot up the right side. And it's going to be interesting to see Dejan Kulusevski in that high 10 spot on the right side, with Wilson Odegaard making those runs. And I will say this for Wilson Odegaard, is that I think he's better for this attack than Brendan Johnson as of right now. I think he does the things that Ange Postecoglou prioritizes for his wingers. And so if you have Dejan Kulusevski attacking the box and you have Odegaard on those runs where he can slide that ball and skin that defender around and attacking the near post, that's just going to leave far more attacking options in the box, whether it's Solanke, whether it's Kulusevski, or whether it's even Betancourt running in. So I do like that. The biggest question that I have for you is, how do you feel about Sarr on essentially almost playing that James Maddison position on the left?
I like it too. I've said it to you yesterday, and we talked about it, didn't we, in that buy and sell show we did? And thank you for all the numbers we've got. I got some lovely comments about the show, about about both of us, Steve. So I'm really grateful. And I got a lovely comment on TikTok saying that we're a lovely comment comparing us to probably what was it? Des Lynam and Jimmy Hill. Now, Des Lynam was like a big sports presenter, football presenter, and Jimmy Hill was like he knew his stuff, and they'd be compared to that. I take that as a compliment all day long. Like, and people are enjoying your shorts over there on TikTok as well. You've become a bit of a celebrity over there, Stevie. I'm telling you.
Well, first and foremost, I appreciate all the commented, the positive feedback. That's the first thing, and I do appreciate guys like Dan Davenport and Gerard O'Connell. And some of our guys that we have Tequila, all these guys that are Wayne Bonner, all of these guys who make this happen, that are consistent in the chat, that consistently consistently support the show. It doesn't happen without you guys. That's the first
No,
thing.
it doesn't.
But you know, as far as the two names that you just mentioned, Jimmy Hill and
Des Lynam. Yeah.
Okay, you might as well just say banana. I have no idea who those
look
guys
up on YouTube. Just look on YouTube later. Okay. But look, to answer your question, yes, I think Sarr on the left is going to be really important for us tonight. And I think him and Bentancur play really well together. They balance each other. They complement each other. I think Kulu in the number 10, I said it yesterday, I think, or before, that I like Kulu in the number 10. I really do. I think he pushes I think he pushes Madison. And I think Madison's been rattled by how well Kulu plays in that number 10 role as well. And instead of being rattled, I think he should take it as a bit of competition to improve himself, to bring the best out of himself. If we do sell Madison in the summer, which we both agree probably wouldn't be a bad thing, I think there's Kulu's position there. But I do want to go through the Nottingham Forest lineup as well with you. Of course, there's people like Gibbs, White, and Wood there that for me are a bit dangerous. Dominguez as well has had a good season. Alaninga as well has had another good season. That's a team that's confident in their own ability, confident in getting a result. A win tonight, and they're back into the top three again. How important tonight is it us to get off to a good start and frustrate Forest and really frustrate them? Because there's players in this team that can hurt us very badly if we give them the space and the time.
For sure. And one of the things that I've said now consistently for the last couple of months is one of the things that Tottenham Hotspur actually have to show is their ability to be on the front foot as soon as the whistle blows, taking control of the match and dictating the match on their terms and consistently getting forward. And I hate to sound flip. I said it on the Irish Hotspur, that true Ange ball, their best defense is more attack. It's consistent waves of attack, making sure that you dictate the attack on your terms and not relenting to what Forest is going to do. And that means being far more brave, getting into the box, stretching their back line, and putting early goals through. If Tottenham can get 2 before the half, that would be ideal. And it's going to make Nottingham Forest reactionary. The one thing that I would like to see, especially when Nottingham Forest is trying to set up their attacks, is actually pressing their fullbacks. Because their buildup starts right there at the wing back position as they try to move it forward. Guys like Anthony Alanga, but that's what they're going to try to do, is they're going to try to overload the flanks and try to ping balls into Chris Wood. And that's the thing, is like if we're not compact and we're not tactically sound, they're going to do unbelievable damage. And it starts right there with having that wherewithal to not just press high center, but also at the wing back position. So if that means Kulusevski or potentially Matisse Tell actually maintaining pressure high and forcing them not necessarily to pass forward on the wing, but also make mistakes by trying to play it centrally, where we have guys that are going to be there to intercept the ball in an advantageous position, so we can just turn around and hit them on the counter. That would be ideal. I don't know about you.
No, it would be ideal. I do agree with you. I mean, Niall here. I do agree. Yeah, it is easier said than done. You look at Niall here. Big up, Niall O'Connor. I haven't seen you before. Welcome to the channel. Do hit the like button and subscription button if you can. He says, Morillo is a great centre back. He is actually. He's had a great season for Forest. He will be in the thoughts of managers in the summer. If we're looking for, if Rudo's going to be sold as we think he is, would the Morillo be a good buy for Tottenham? I think he would do very good for us, by the way.
My question is, can he consistently maintain his motor throughout the season, considering just exactly how Ange Postecoglou likes to use the center backs, right? So there is going to be a lot of up tempo with your center backs, and that's the only question I have. But I actually do agree. I think Murillo's a fantastic player. There's a lot of great options out there, But it first starts with Christian Romero staying at this club. That's
it does. And that big up tonight. It was a good big up. Then I get this from David Clark as well. I will answer your question because he says Kulu is considered by Spurs fans to be our best player this season. I think he has been. Believe Maddison is Mr. Inconsistent, and yet the facts say even with 100 minutes of less on the pitch, Maddison's more goals. Yeah, look, I just think if you're looking at a number 10, I just think Kulu offers you more than James Maddison does. In my own opinion, he shows up, and he never does. He never shows up for a game, and I think Kulu offers you that. Maddison, as we said yesterday, is so inconsistent. One game he could show up, next game he won't. Just a quick question on the Romero thing. Again, it's so vital we win the Europa League for that one of them one reasons, isn't it? For Romero to stay at the club. I know we broke news on Ange and we broke it on our show last night. And we did break it. How important is it also that Ange stays in the job for Romero? If Tottenham sack Ange Postecoglou and the likes of Romero, and that, do you think that's another reason Romero will stay if we're consistent with the manager? Right, this manager's going to stay, and we do win the Europa League. Do you think you think right? Okay, I'll say this because I'm being with the manager that I trust. That the stick. We have to show commitment.
Sure. And I think that was one of the biggest reasons why Harry Kane wanted out was because of the constant revolving door and the philosophies changing every single hire, with it only lasting a certain amount of time. And of course, our weak transfer strategy, where he's looking around and is like, hey, are we ever going to win trophies? Are we ever going to make that a priority? And I would probably assume that's also the same with a guy like Christian Romero. And, as I stated yesterday, that, consistency matters, but also ambition as well, too. Me personally, I think the money is going to be there for Romero wherever he goes, whether it be Germany, Spain, Italy, whatever the case may be. He's going to get paid as a top 10 center back no matter where he goes. So if the issue is money, Spurs have it, and they're able to satisfy him on that end. But the other thing he wants to see is ambition. He wants that's the thing. It's like there's only so much of a youth movement that he's going to take before he's like, what's our ambition? What are we actually trying to do here? And so if it's it has to be consistency with Ange Postecoglou. It has to be an ambitious summer transfer market where they're targeting youth, but they're also targeting potential face of the franchise players, replacing Sonny or getting another right wing into that attack that is going to be able to kick on, especially players that actually have Champions League or Premier League experience that actually have won things in their CV. Those are the type of impact players where a guy like Christian Romero is going to be like, oh, okay, we actually are trying to win.
If you look at it that way, I think you make a very valid point that winning this competition gives you more options, gives you more ammunition to say to Romero, look, this is where we're going. This is where we're going. I want to say big up to Mick. He says, good evening, Dermot and Co. I've got gout. Very painful. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, Mick. I hope you and your missus are doing well. And I do really apologize. No problem, Steve. That's no problem, man. I'll go through the chat anyway. Okay. Yeah, I'll go through the chat while he goes there. Big up Jazz Fusion. Romero will not extend. I think he will. If we win the Europa League and get in the Champions League, he's got 2 years left in his contract. I think he will extend. I really do. Big up to Dan Davenport. Spurs should go for Robbie Keane. Look, I have no problem with Tottenham going for Robbie Keane in as a coach. I think it will be a good choice. I think it would be a very, very popular choice as well because he was very popular with the Spurs fans. I like Robbie Keane. I liked him as a player. I loved him as a player. As a coach, I think he would bring something to Tottenham. He would bring something different. Maybe Ange could look at that. He did have, what was his name at Celtic? The Australian ex-Liverpool player as coach. So, yeah, why not? David Clark, big up. Never heard you Spurs podcast to slaughter Kulu away at Leicester when you gave the ball away 20 times. Spurs fans' favourites seem to be allowed such a wide berth. I call it performance blindness. I don't. I call it. Look, I call it as I see it. I rarely do, David. I don't call it. I look, if Kula has a bad game, Steve knows I will call him out, and he has had a bad game. Me, Steve, I've done a few watch-alongs together, and he knows I will call players out for not performing. So I think it's a little bit unfair, but I think it's also fair that Kulu, when he has played, has been more consistent than James Maddison. It's a fact. James Maddison has not been consistent where Kulu has, and look, Kula could have an absolute shite game tonight, and we will call him out for it. We're not scared of calling players out. Just a quick get your thought on this from Dan, Steve. Robbie Keane as coach. Do you think Robbie Keane be a good coach under that to bring him in to sort of rejig his coaching staff for next season if he does stay? Do you know he's missed Chris Davis? He went to, I think he really has missed Chris Davis, who went to Birmingham, who've now won the league in League One and now qualified, got promotion to Championship. So do you feel he has to rejig his coaching staff for next season? And would you pick Robbie Keane as one of them?
I guess it depends on personality, right? Is that somebody that is Robbie Keane somebody that would vibe with Postecoglou? Would Robbie Keane accept the philosophical approach to the game of football that Ange Postecoglou has, right? So it has to be a match, right? Is Robbie Keane going to be married to his tactics, and there's going to be a clash on how this team has to play? That is something that, as far as I'm concerned, that is something that has to be, metered out if you're going to make that type of move. But that being said, I mean, both Ange Postecoglou and Robbie Keane are also alpha males, right? So my question is whether or not those two would butt heads.
I think which is the
best path on how to go forward.
Yeah, I think they would get on. You look at he had Harry Kewell up in Celtic, and Harry Kewell, I know they're both Aussies, but did they get on well? And Robbie Keane, he is our leading goal scorer for our national side, so I think he would. He would. All
right.
Where is he now?
I'll take your judgment on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Robbie Keane playing for us, and I loved him. I love Robbie Keane. I've always have. The only time I did go against him, went to manage a side in Israel. I thought, "What you doing, man?"
To David Clark's comments, and it's like, listen, I'm consistent across the board. If there's a bad game, if a player has a bad game, whether that be Mikey Van de Ven, Vicario, Solanke, Tell, Johnson, whoever the case may be, it's going to get pointed out. But what I will say is that, James Maddison probably is going to be better on the score sheet when it comes to goal contributions. But that being said, Kulusevski is no slouch either. The thing that I appreciate about Kulusevski that is missing from Maddison is I think Kulusevski actually cares about the club. He cares about the badge. He cares about the fans. And he plays a hard 90 whistle to whistle every single match out. Where my biggest issue, and this is not just a Tottenham issue, this also goes back to his Leicester City days, and in some context, even as way back to his Coventry City days, is that James Maddison picks and chooses when he wants to show up, and a lot of that depends on that. A lot of that also does depend on the defenses that are being thrown out there. Sometimes I wonder whether or not he actually has the courage against some of the best defenses in the world. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Jazz says, I think David is speaking the big picture. Maybe, yeah. I think he might be. I get what Dave's getting at, but I think we, as a channel ourselves, we're very critical on players. Look, I'm very critical. We were critical of Brennan Johnson on Thursday, weren't we? Yeah. How poor he was. And
so you're absolutely right, and I think you were the first one to call it out as well too. I know that in some respects you gave Johnson his flowers at certain points of that match, but also the overall performance wasn't exactly up to par.
Yeah, I mean, just to say, as it stands in the Championship, just a bit of breaking news: Leeds and Burnley will both be promoted tonight. But listen to this now, Steve. They've played 44 games each. They're on 94 points each, and only Leeds have a better goal difference, 60-46 in Burnley in Leeds' favour. So that's going to go all the way to the last game of the season. That's a title race.
And I'm very happy for Leeds and Burnley getting back to the Premier League, mainly because, and I'm biased because obviously there's a U.S. flag behind me, and that means American boy Brendan Aronson will be back in the Premier League for Leeds, and also Burnley winger Luca Cugliosho, who currently plays for the Italy under-21s, but is also available for the U.S. men's national team if Pochettino decides to go down that route, will be in the Premier League as well, too. And I think this is a big boom for U.S. soccer.
Yeah. I just want to go over some of the stats for this game. I know we did it with the pre-game thoughts, but I didn't get Steve's thoughts on this. We have played Forest 15 times in the Premier League, 1 draw. Now, I've done these predicted of the Premier League, done these stat things for nearly 3 years. I have never, ever done one where they have exactly the same wins, home and away.
Yeah.
I've never had that happen to me before. It really is unreal. Look, over the games we've played them the last 4 times, it's been sort of win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. We lost them, of course, on St. Stephen's Day. I don't know, is it Boxing Day in America you call it, or St. Stephen's Day in America, Christmas?
I'd say that no, we don't call the day after Christmas Boxing Day here in the U.S. That's a UK and Canada.
We call it St. Stephen's Day over here. We lost 1-0 to them. We did beat them near the end of last season, 3-1 at the Lane. We lost, of course, earlier before Christmas 2-0 to them, and we did beat them 3-1 again earlier for the end of the 22-23 season. So if you're going by that sort of statistic, then we're going to win 3-1 tonight or 3-0 tonight. I wouldn't be surprised.
What this tells me is that it tells me that this is an evenly contested match. That generally that favors the home team. Not a lot of leeway for the road sides, and it looks like that. The home side takes advantage of it. So I think you might be right. I think this goes to show that this might actually just favor Tottenham Hotspur today.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Forest's last 5 games, right, in the league, 3 wins, only 2 defeats out of the last 5. But you look at the wins they got against Man City, Man United, did beat Ipswich. I mean, everyone beats Ipswich 4-2. But they did lose to Villa and Everton for the last 2 games. Look, a win tonight to go into 3rd. Do you think chasing the Champions League is getting to them? I think it is. I think they're finding the pressure. And with 5th place also gaining you a Champions League place, do you think that's in the back of Nuno's mind? You're thinking, hang on, as long as we finish top 5, we're getting in the Champions League.
Well, here's the thing, and I think this is important. And number one, you can excuse the loss to Aston Villa because Aston Villa is actually a very good side. And there's no shame in losing a close contest. The one that bugs me is the Everton loss because that's kind of a bad loss, really, when you think about it. Yeah. But that being said, congratulations to David Moyes for turning that Everton season around. But I will say this. Nottingham Forest is a young team that has yet to learn how to win together as a group.
Yeah.
Right? And that's also something that is plaguing Tottenham Hotspur. And you have to go through, the only way that you can understand how to win at this level is going through losses. And sometimes it could be a train wreck of a season like Tottenham Hotspur has this season with all the injuries and everything that's going on. Or it could be what we're seeing with Forest, where you do have 2 very good wins against both Manchester clubs, but then you suffer a tough loss against Everton. And these are the type of learning experiences that actually bring a collective together. The question is do they have that experience to finish this thing off? And that's going to come down to Nuno Espirito Santos and his messaging to his club. That belief in that group and that belief in that core that they're able to finish that off. That to me it's all riding on Nuno at this point. Yeah.
And that makes it dangerous for tonight. And when you look at our last 5 games, it's pretty horrendous. Only 1 win in the last 5. We drew against Bournemouth, but we did lose against Fulham, Chelsea, and Wolves. The only win came against relegated Southampton. That did relegate them that day. But we did go to Frankfurt and get a really good performance and a good 1-0 win away in Germany in that intimidating atmosphere, which really proved they can do it. It's really Jekyll and Hyde, isn't it? Our league season's been woeful, but look, we got to semi-finals of the League Cup. We've in the semi-finals in Europe as well. From the cup side of it, it's like Jekyll and Hyde. It's been How important is a win tonight now to back up that victory against Frankfurt? How important is it tonight we get a victory for confidence and for momentum to go into the Liverpool game next week, which I think is going to be vital?
I think it's going to show you the commitment of this club, right? This team is capable of a carryover effect. There's been times where you were made to believe that was going to happen, only to suffer a bad loss. So that to me is what I want to see. I want to see if this team is actually capable of carrying over momentum into the next match and into the next match heading into the first fixture. Because on paper, when you look at this team, we have most of our first team guys back. So you know that they're capable. And when you see a total team win, where the entire team was moving together in the same direction against Frankfurt in a hostile environment, they get a clean sheet. That confidence should carry over. And so I just think that today is absolutely massive, right? Because it's going to let everybody know what this team is made of. If they go out there and put up a 3-1, victory against Forest, and it's the contest was never in doubt. It's going to let you know you can never question this team's heart. That's the thing. It's like there's a lot of, to me, when I see all this negativity, I get the impression that people are wondering if this team has heart. And now with that type of performance today, that will never be questioned. I don't think you can.
No, I mean, if you do look at the last 5 games, you look at the goals we scored and how many we conceded. I mean, we've only scored 3, 5, 7 goals, and we've conceded 4,
10.
5, 6, 7, 8. So we've sort of just conceded
10.
one more than what we've scored.
No, we've conceded 10. We've conceded 10.
So I always told you maths was my worst subject at school. Is it important we get a clean sheet tonight? I think that's vitally important. Get back-to-back clean sheets as well.
That would be nice, but clean sheets were never really that big to Ange Postecoglou. No. His whole thing is like if we could put 3 or 4 on the board, that's executing the system to perfection. And that's when I look at this over the last 5. What we are not seeing are massive goal totals. I can't remember the last time we scored more than 3 in a game, and that to me is alarming. And one of the things is, and again, this last Thursday, as good as that win was, our attack wasn't consistent last week. Whether it was Matisse Tell missing the overlap and trying to put a ball on net, whether you liked it or not, it's like those little things that put the attack in more of an advantageous position. The one thing I did like was James Madison attacking the box that drew the penalty, because that was something that when you look at both center backs looking to get forward, and all you see are people ball watching. But one of the things that I will say is if we have a lot more courage today, taking chances, trying to get in the back, spreading out that back line, and actually giving our attack targets to actually put quality shots, there's a good chance that we could score 3, possibly 4. Right? That's the one thing I want to see get back to is Ange ball in its purest form. We have the horses to do it. It's going to be, does this team have confidence to make to take risks and chances on the attack? You're on mute, Derma. You're on mute, bud.
Sorry. You look at the season so far, it couldn't be more contrasting from ours to Forest. I mean, what Relly says, you look at the average goals scored per match, 1.88 to 1.59, and then goals conceded per match, 1.53 to 1.19. 13 clean sheets to our 6. Chances created per match. We create more chances than Forest do.
Yeah.
But Forest are up there with 17 wins, 6 draws, 9 defeats. We're 11 wins, 4 draws, and 17 defeats. Even look, our biggest win. Their biggest win was against a rival of theirs. Our biggest win was against a relegated side. Let's be fair to that. And you look, our record defeat, 6-3 against Liverpool. I mean, our season in a nutshell has been woeful. But do them 2 numbers there really tell the story of our season? The average goal scored and the average goal conceded. In a nutshell, that's our season, isn't it? You look at Forest's, and that's it in a nutshell, really. We just
Our season really is can be summed up with injuries and inconsistency.
Yeah.
And when you look at some of these numbers, and what the funny thing is like when you look at the losses in the league and you look at just how everything is played out, we're still in the top 3 in goals scored this season, which is entertaining. But that's the thing. It's like that's where this conversation of stats can be misleading, because when you actually look at the eye, when you judge it by your eye and give it the eye test, you're seeing an attack that doesn't necessarily put a lot of shots on goal. Doesn't give themselves the best chances to create. But that being said, man, this is the golden opportunity. And Forest are coming off two defeats, one really bad defeat, and the question is whether or not Spurs have the ability to carry over. And I like what Jazz Fusion says in the chat right here, where he basically says offense sells tickets, defense win championships. Yeah, it's like putt for, it's drive for show, putt for dough, baby. You know what I mean? I totally agree with that.
I totally agree with that as well. Look, I want to go through the chat before we get going.
Yeah.
We are still nearly just 15 minutes away. I like these narrow build-ups, Steve. Actually, it gives us a bit more time to. It gives a bit more time to get into the game and relax and get our views across instead of doing a 15-minute. We are rushing and that. Big up Jazz Fusion, big up Gerard as well. So what's the story of Mikey Moore? They were saying he was the new Tony Galvin Dermo. Look, for me, Mikey Moore should be getting more minutes. Now, I don't know if he's unhappy. He is a young lad, and I don't think he would be expected to start every game. But I do think he is a talent that needs Premier League experience.
Yeah.
I think Ange isn't great in using youth, and he's more dependent on what he's got. But do you think Mikey Moore deserves more starts than what he gets? I think he does, Steve, to be fair, because he is a talent, isn't he? He really is the best thing to come off the Tottenham conveyor belt. And we need to look after him. So is Ange looking after him or protecting him?
I think there were times this year where he could have been used more. I think Mikey Moore there was times this year where you could have used more. But what I will say is, like, when you have a healthy Brennan Johnson and you do have a Wilson Odegaard, like, he becomes third on the depth chart, and there are no more cup games, for him to play. And now that we're in the European semifinal, there's going to be less chance. But what I will say is that, and I touched on this on the Irish Hotspur this morning, is that there are games coming up where Ange can pick and choose. Depending on the matchup, where he can actually give some runs to some of these young guys. And one of the things that I pointed out was the fact that when it comes to the summer and it comes to training camp, you want these young guys ready to challenge for first team minutes or a starting spot. And all that comes with the sharpness of the Premier League from this point moving forward. You can systematically pick and choose when you want to run Archie Gray out at the 6, Bergvall, Dane Scarlett, Mikey Moore. These guys need to get some run towards the end of the season. So they're coming into training camp sharp, and they're absolutely willing to challenge, because the one thing you want to know is, especially number one, can they, but do they have the capabilities of being able to do this on this level? Yeah. And I do think that Mikey Moore is a raw prospect. And the thing about it is depending on how this is going to play out in the summer transfer window, if they bring in another right wing, if that's the case, then he's fourth on the depth chart. Send him out on loan. Get him valuable first team minutes in the championship, or whether it be League One. Keep him in England, obviously, and keep an eye on him. But that being said, it's like, if you're the one thing you don't want to do with young kids is disrupt development. They have to play. And if you believe that Mikey Moore is a special talent, then he has to be given run first team minutes somewhere. I don't think it's an issue of maybe a newly promoted team like Leeds or Burnley, because I don't think he's going to get the run out in the Premier League. But that being said, a team in the Championship like maybe Norwich City, Sheffield United, a team that's going to be good, pushing for promotion, you put them in that environment and let him challenge to a team that is looking to move up 100%.
Yeah. Probably like a Burnley or a Leeds. They got promoted. Give him where he will get minutes. Like, he will get minutes at Burnley or somewhere like that. If we're not going to play him in the Premier League,
my issue with him going to Leeds or Burnley is will they give him a run in the Premier League next year, trying to stay up, right? Because the bottom three are generally teams, right?
Yeah. I know what you're getting at. Big up to Tony. Big up the only West Ham fan I truly respect. He says, big up Dermot and Co. Leeds and Burnley back in the Premier League. Yeah, absolutely overdue to them. I'm really happy for them, actually. Forest do results, not entertain. Yeah, that's true, Jared. Very true. I want to say big up also to the Normality channel with Ryan Taylor. Big up, Ryan. Hope you're doing well. I said Leeds and Burnley back in the top flight for next season. Double celebration. Big up to Levy Towers as well. Would anyone take Scott Parker as our manager? Just a thought. Scott Parker, former Tottenham Fulham player. He did manage at Fulham as well. I think he's been out the game too long, personally, in my opinion. I don't think he would come into anyone's conversations. What about you, Steve? It'll be a no for me, but where are you on
Yeah, it's going to be a no for me as well too. Do you know who I thought would be the perfect fit
it?
for this club? Graham Potter. I thought Potter would be a perfect fit considering the
Yeah,
youth movement and
yeah.
his ability to develop young players while still maintaining expectations
Mm.
at the Premier League level. He has the ability to do both. I thought that would have been a slam dunk hire, but such is life.
Yeah, but a lot of fans didn't want Graham Potter, as we used to nickname him, Harry Potter, when he was available. And we've gone for these big managers in the past, Steve, and we've gone for a Conte or Mourinho or something like that, and it hasn't worked out. And we've gone for an Ange where last season we got fifth. This season has been great. But is it time that we stick with a manager now? We stick with him.
Yeah.
And especially with this new ownership, and I know somebody in the chat and Dave in the chat we're on telling me, show me evidence. Well, you don't have to believe anything. Just look back a month ago. It's on the channel. It's there as plain as it's on the bottom of my nose. We did break it. I just feel with new ownership with Ange, whoever does come in as manager, I feel they're going to get such a boost with financial
Oh,
money.
100%.
We can spend a hell of a lot of money, and we can really rejuvenate this squad. Um, is it an exciting time to be a Spurs fan for what's coming up? Because this could end up
Oh,
to
yeah.
be our best season in years, in decades.
Well, here's the thing, right? And we were talking about, the breaking news that we had yesterday, which
Mm,
is like a lot of this is going to be contingent on winning the Europa League.
yeah,
And if Ange is able to finish this off, 100% he needs to be back. And when I look at this team on paper, like let's just start with the players that have actually benefited from Ange Postecoglou:
mm,
Jed Spence, Lucas Bergvall, Archie Gray, Wilson
yeah,
Odegaard, Matisse Tell has improved on a week-to-week basis. It's like you're starting to see some of these young players start to actually gain confidence in their abilities when they're
yeah,
given those minutes. But then you look at Mikey Van de Ven and Christian Romero from a week to week. They are starting to look like their old selves. Vicario is starting to play like his old self again too, and we'll find out what's going on with Richarlison. But when I look at the core of this team, moving on, right? Pedro Porro's 26. Romero is like what, 25, 26. Van de
mhm,
Ven's only like 24. Jed
yeah,
Spence is like 23. Sar's only 21. Betancourt's 26. Kulusevski's 24. I look at the core of this team. That's a core that can win you trophies.
yeah.
And
It
now
can.
it's just being able to have the right transfer strategy to finish out, put the finishing touches on this thing, and let them kick on. And that's, yesterday I was telling you about like
Mm,
my ideal summer transfer window,
yeah,
bringing in two very high quality players with chips on the shoulder in Gomez and Jonathan David, and then actually taking a risk by bringing in potentially a dude like Nico Williams, and he's going to take over as the face of the club moving forward for the next 8 years. And he's absolutely deadly on the left wing, or
yeah.
maybe even bringing in a Christian Pulisic. Like that, like there are ways that you not only can save money by spending money, and also putting this team in such a great position to be a lethal attack under Ange moving forward.
And also under new owners, we will pay the wages as well.
Yeah,
We won't,
yeah.
we will pay the wages because we'll be able to afford it. Right, we've got
Um,
15 minutes for kickoff. Let's talk
but
in. Yeah, go ahead.
but Jazz Fusion right here says that Levy's hand is on the scale will be more the same. When this takeover happens, Levy will no longer be a chairman. He'll just be a
An
consultant.
advisory.
They're in an advisory role. They're going to bring in their new people, whether it be a new director of football operations, if that's going to be Paratici, and eventually, yes, they're going to want to bring in their new manager.
Yeah.
But if Ange delivers a Europa League, he probably will be back for year number 3.
Yeah, it'd be very unpopular if we do so. And big up the Rain Moore, still a kid. As much as we'd like to see him on the pitch, we have to be patient. Ad does more exactly. We've
Yeah.
got Gerard. Did Daniel Levy sack David Pleat this season? I think it was more of a mutual consent.
Yeah.
David Pleat. I think it was, to be fair. And then, as we say, we just talked about that. Look, let's get on 15 minutes, 10 minutes for kickoff. Let's get into game mode. I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to this game. No, I think it's important that we start fast. We're at home. We're the team that should put the aggression on Forest. How vital is it for the fans to get behind us? And also, it is vital that we don't concede early. Wolves were conceded within 55 seconds. If you look at other games this season where we've conceded early, I think we've got to do first 20 minutes. Let's go for it. I mean, you look at Morgan Gibbs White this season, minutes
Mhm.
90, passes in the final third, average season 16. He had 4 against Everton. Successful passes in the final third, average 11, 1 against Everton. Expected assists 0.18, and chances created 2. How important is it that we keep Gibbs White quiet tonight? Because I think he's one of the danger men for Forest that can unlock our defense, and he is he's a player I feel that James Madison should be, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
He's consistent in his performance. We were linked to him last season, and I would have preferred to get him and have him and Kulu. Can you imagine the midfield if Gibbs, White, and Kulu were in that midfield with Bentancur sitting as a number 6, or Archie Gray sitting as a 6?
Yeah,
That'd be a
deadly.
dangerous midfield tree.
Deadly. That's the thing. It's like what I worry about Morgan Gibbs White is on the counterattack. If they clog the central passing lanes and are able to to get those turnovers, the passing ability to turn and look forward and put a ball on the dime to runners moving forward. Morgan Gibbs White's about as good as anybody in that department.
Yeah.
But also in the buildup when they actually do try to recycle, and you see some of the runs that he's able to do, more like being able to consistently mark that dude and potentially take him out, get him out of his rhythm. Dare I even say be a little physical against him.
I agree.
It's going to be one of the 2 most important things that Spurs are going to have to be able to do consistently today, just to keep them out of rhythm.
I agree with you. I think we've got to. Okay, that hasn't gone in yet. I think we have to be a bit more aggressive in our midfield and how we play against them. Look, how important is the fans tonight to get behind the team? It is vital in any game anyway, but say we do have a disastrous start, right? And we go like we had to start against Wolves. How important is it for the fans to still be behind the team and not let negative thoughts go in? Because it is vital, isn't it? Because the players' heads will drop.
Right. I think all the goodwill that was earned for Frankfurt is going to go right out the window because there's so many narratives surrounding Ange Postecoglou that they're waiting for that other shoe to drop. But understand, and I think even the most ardent Ange out person has to understand that all the eggs are now in the Europa League basket, and the focus is that first leg against Bodo Glimt at the stadium. And so I'm not saying that they're going to shut off against Forest or Liverpool, but you look at the starting lineup today, and it's contrary to that, right? So there is still an emphasis on league play. But that being said, one of the things that I will say is that I would like to see everybody put down their spikes and their swords and move in the same direction, because this team absolutely needs that confidence and that energy that the crowd gives them. Right, because I remember the energy. Now, mind you, I had never been to White Hart Lane in the past, but I do remember watching important Europa League nights from White Hart Lane or big Premier League matches from White Hart Lane, where the energy was so palpable that it almost felt like you lose your breath a little bit, right? And that energy came out of the screen, and those players that walked onto the field fed off that energy, and that's something that has to happen today and also moving forward. Like that, this club, if there was any time to really, really just put down your spikes, your arrows, your swords, or whatever the case may be, and support the club, it's absolutely right now. They need that energy of White Hart Lane today.
Yeah, they do. See, this is why I agree with you. I mean, I went to White Hart Lane many of time, and the energy there on some games was unreal. I feel this new stadium now, I've been a couple of times to this new stadium. I feel that stadium hasn't got the same energy as White Hart Lane. I just don't. I've always said it. This stadium's got no soul. Where White Hart Lane had soul. Does it need us to win something to get that soul 100%. Into the new stadium?
Oh, yeah. There has to be a tradition built.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like there had been moments at the new stadium, a couple of North London derbies where we ended up on the winning side, where we actually had that energy. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like when you're not winning, right? There's not going to be a lot of energy. Like I'll give you a good example right now. The U.S. men's national team is in bad form right now, and we're not even packing 10,000 fans into a stadium to watch them because the form is so bad. And how are players supposed to expect to play with energy when there's no energy in the building? That's what consistently losing does, where you don't have an identity and you don't have a tradition of winning. But again, winning solves everything. And if we are going into the 2025-2026 season playing in a Europa Super Cup because we won the Europa League this year, and we have Champions League football to look forward to next year, and the slate is clean for the Premier League, and we start a new journey. Those are the stepping stones that build tradition. Period.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, I've always said it. I'd rather White Hart Lane and a trophy or a championship winning side than a new stadium than what we've been watching. And I understand the new stadium. I do get it. I do understand it. It's the next level, and it's how you grow and evolve as a club. But I feel to evolve as a club, to evolve, to bed in this new stadium, you have to also have a team to fit that stadium. And we haven't had a team to fit that stadium. We finished the last game at White Hart Lane undefeated. We didn't lose a game at all. And we haven't really built on from that. We had the Champions League final on the Poch. We didn't back Poch. Do you know, I just feel there's been so many ifs and buts and so many starts and stops. And I just
the worst thing was when you're leaving your home of over 100 years, and then you're a transplant at Wembley, where there is no field, there's no home field advantage, and then you come into the new stadium, and it does take some time to develop that comfortability within the stadium, but also winning is a big factor of it, and I just think that once this new ownership comes in and actually brings some stability and provides leadership, I think we're going to see that. And that's one thing that's problematic, is we're so mismanaged right now.
Yeah. And also, we're also so sacking managers every 18 months.
That's got to stop too. That's got to stop too.
You look at Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. When times got rough for him, what did they do? They backed him with the players he needed. And look at the success he brought.
Yeah, and you have to remember that it took Jurgen Klopp really 3 years to really kick on to what we consider Liverpool today. Same thing with Arteta at Arsenal, and I understand they won the FA Cup, but there was a lot of stumbling blocks. But Arsenal didn't become what we consider Arsenal today until about year 3. I mean, look at Sir Alex Ferguson with Man United.
Yeah,
and look at he was damn near sacked before he had that sentimental that he win that kicked things on, and he became Sir Alex Ferguson. And same thing with Pochettino here at Spurs. That his first year wasn't great.
Yeah, I guess just to let you know, Scott Parker is actually the Burnley manager who's got Burnley promoted. So what I've said, Scott Parker doesn't do a lot of football. That's just proved me completely wrong. But look, we are gearing up to kick off. They got the team profiles here look, based on the rankings this season. Goals were the third best, with 5th in XG. In XG performance were 3rd. In goal conceded were 13th. XG against were 17th. In possession were 4th. Fast breaks were 7th. And PPDA, which I have no clue what that means, were top of the league in that. So, I mean, if you look at that, if we only got the goals against and conceded, and you look at Nottingham Forest now, goals 10th. The XG is 15th. XG performances, the number 1. Goals conceded, 4th. XG against, 6th. Possession, the 20th. Fast break, 4th in the table, in the sort of pyramid. And PPDA, I wish somebody would let me know in the chat what PPDA means. They're 20th. Yeah. So, I mean, has this been the weirdest Premier League season of inconsistency for everyone? Not just Tottenham, Man United. And has Liverpool been the only consistent team in the league? Because I think they have. I'm big up to the 100 people that are watching already. The numbers are going up nice and steadily
Sure,
across all
sure.
platforms. But look, the teams are in the tunnel in a few minutes. Where do you put it down to? Is it just one of them this season, um,
Well,
Steve?
what's
I mean,
interesting is like it's not just Liverpool, but I mean
yeah,
Nottingham Forest has had a good season. They've been
yeah,
consistent. Fulham has been consistent. Bournemouth has been consistent.
mm,
Look at Crystal Palace. Palace is
yeah,
playing good this year as well too. So it just seems like when it came to Tottenham, Man City, and Man United, for Tottenham and Man United, it's just an issue of being mismanaged. And they got their transfers wrong. And with Tottenham, it's just been the injury crisis killed the season. Right. With
mm,
City, you can point to certain players, losing Rodri for the entire season kind of killed their midfield. They have a lot of guys that were just a little
yeah,
bit over the hill. And that definitely played into, their form this season. But that being said, it's just one of those odd years where mid-table teams, everything came right for mid-table teams this season. And
yeah,
me personally, I actually think it's been fun. It's been fun watching Bournemouth and Fulham play football this year.
mm,
At times I like watching Nottingham Forest. Even some of the relegation teams had been fun to watch in my mind as well too. So
yeah,
I understand like from a traditional standpoint, especially a Big Six traditionals, that it's expecting those teams to be within those top 8
yeah,
spots. But it's that being said, it also lets you know that the gap to the top has changed a little bit.
yeah. It
You know
has.
what I mean?
It has.
So
I apologize for making you spoil, Steve. I no
yeah,
disrespect. Yeah, sorry.
I'm sure.
You've
I'm
shrunk.
sure.
I apologize. I will get it right for the next watch along. I just because with the scoreboard and everything. I will get it right. I do apologize. Look, they are going
You're
through the
good.
teams. Come on, put your neck on the line. Call it. What's the score going to be?
Um, I'm going to stay consistent with what I've been saying. And again, this goes back to Thursday, and while I do concede it was a total team win,
Yeah,
and I was really happy to see this team move in one direction finally. One of the things that was still concerning is that there still seems a lot of inconsistency with this attack.
yeah,
And at times, it's head scratching with some of the decisions that are made when the ball is moving forward. I don't necessarily know if it changes today. I would like to see it.
hmm
But that being said, I'm going to still stick with my 1-1 draw.
yeah. I'm still going to stick with 3-0. I really am. I'm going for 3-0. Come on, you
I
Spurs.
was expecting like 5-0. You know what I mean?
No. 3-0. 3-0.
Because you're usually good. You're usually good for the lopsided 7-0
Yeah.
thrashings. And but
I've learned this. I've learned this season, right, that I don't dare do 5-0 anymore because we always concede, but I always hope we keep a clean sheet.
what I will give you credit for is I believe you picked the second leg of Frankfurt correctly. I think you predicted a 1-0.
I actually did.
And yeah. So
Yeah.
I will
So
give
I'm
you
quite
credit.
pleased with that. Thank you for that. Thank you, Steve.
Mhm.
See,
Yeah.
I like my co-host. He's very nice to me. See, I give him the right M&Ms. That's what it is. He's asked for pink
No,
M&Ms, and I
oh
give
no,
him the
no,
right
no.
food.
It's just killing people with kindness, Dermot. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
I know, I know. Look, it's the Easter spirit. That's what it is, the Easter spirit.
Yeah.
Look, just very quickly, I know it broke news today. For anyone that is religious or Catholic as well, we
Yeah.
have lost the Pope today. So to anyone that's watching, that is
Yeah.
very religious. Our thoughts are with you. Look, I'm a Roman Catholic myself, so look, it's very sad to hear a Pope passing away. But I just put it out there. You know, anyone that is sort of upset by it or sad by it, join us. We'll cheer you up and we'll make you happy. But look, it is Forest to get us off and on the way here. Steve, Forest are going to be kicking to the south stand. Tottenham are going to be kicking to the north stand.
Yep.
Tottenham in their white shorts and blue
Come on, you
shorts.
Spurs.
Yes, that's it. And we've got Forest in red tops, white shorts, and red socks. And you're watching this in black and white. The referee is in pink. No, he's not.
I love the jacket Mr. Ange Postecoglou was sporting today. Kind
I
of
did too, actually.
kind of stylish a little bit. But that being
Yeah.
said, I do want to double down on that for those that are Catholic and hold the Pope in high esteem, my condolences are with not only the family but also with the Vatican as well too, and to any Catholic that cherishes the Pope. So it's a day of mourning.
It is. I just wanted to put that there, and that's got nothing to do with football, but it's such a major news story. I thought I'd just put it there. But Forest do have an early throw in. Forest now, lovely.
Where are you at? Where are you at as far as time?
I am 28 seconds in. Where are you?
They haven't even kicked in yet.
Right, hang on. So let me pause this. Let me know when you get to 36 seconds.
I will. Yeah, Christian Romero is just now jogging onto the field, so they're about ready to kick off here.
And then we will press.
All right. I will let you know because we're at 10 seconds right now.
Yeah.
There's 20 seconds, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
36, sorry.
Okay, there's 30 right here.
Yeah.
34, 35, 36.
Right, there you go. We're now here. It's Jed Spence. Go on, Spency, on the wing. Trying to find his man. Plays it back to Papa Sarr. Papa Sarr now looking in the midfield. Gets it back to Mickey van der Ven. Mickey van der Ven to the Argentinian Bulldog in Romero. Back to van der Ven, the quickest defender in the West. Here's Matthias Tell, the German scientist. Cuts in. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Jesus.
Oh, he wins the ball back.
And here's Sarr now. Go on, Sarr. Whip it in, son. Whip it in. Whip it in. He does whip it in. Oh. Good early pressure from Spurs here, Steve. Absolutely. This is what I wanted to see.
That was bad.
And that's going to Casper the Ghost.
I like the early pressure. I love this early pressure. But the thing about it is that was a bad touch. That was a bad touch from Matisse Tell. But look at the energy to get right back on the ball.
Sadly, no Tequila is still standing on the touchline. And I haven't had the heart to break it to you yet. But if we win the Europa League, he will be still here next season, apparently. So I don't know how to break it to you. So I do apologize. But big up the Val Taylor 1-1. She's gone for Tell.
There you go.
-1 already.
Look at Decky trying to press high. I like it.
Yeah, Boris, honestly, it looks like we're playing like we did on Thursday. I'm loving it. Tequila says shame. Well, look, if we don't win Europa and we do badly in the league, then he will go. So you may get your wish, Tequila. I know, but you got to answer me this. Do you want Ange to go or do you want to win a trophy? Yeah, I was going to say that. You just answered.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you can't have both, Tequila. You can have one or the other. What's more important, Ange being sacked or us winning Europa League? Yeah, I would probably assume it's the latter.
I think it'd be the latter too, but I think he wants a trophy as well. Oh God, and the Tell again gets it out. Good start. It's been a good start for Spurs here. Tell now to Papa Sarr with the ball. Go on to Richie. Richie, that's a free kick, referee. Thank you very much. How's that not a free kick?
Richie was mugged.
Seriously.
There you go. That's bad.
Seriously, referee, how is that not a free kick?
Yeah, he was literally wrestled down to the ground. Good Lord.
Good Lord. If you wanted his shirt, it could have waited till after the game. Do you know? That's Woods, by the way.
There you go.
Good header there from Van der Ven. Tottenham being a little bullied in the midfield. But Forest now with the ball. Gibbs right there. Gets it into the midfield. Forest going back. Tottenham following him back now. Looking to defend. Here's Forest now on the attack.
My screen froze.
Oh no. Do you want me to pause again for you?
No, let me I'll get back on it. Don't worry about it.
Here's Forest now on the break. Here's Forest now. Are they gonna have a crack? Oh, what a save from Vicario. Oh, that was a good 30-40 yards out. He had a shot. I think that was Gibbs White as well. And it was Gibbs White who had that lovely turn. He takes a shot, and there is Vicario scrambling, and he pushes it out for an early Nottingham Forest corner. Tottenham there.
I'm at I'm at 3:45.
All right, I'll pause then. Let me know when you get to 4 minutes 15.
All right, I will.
But
I'm
that was
at 4
dangerous.
minutes right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, good save right there.
Right.
And you were talking about Morgan Gibbs White right at the top of the program.
Yeah.
They're number 10. He puts a nice little chance. So I'm at 4, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay, there you go.
And here's Anthony Alonga with the set piece.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Good defense right there. Ooh.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No.
Off the rebound.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Seriously.
Off the rebound. 4 minutes in, Spurs concede
4
their first.
minutes in. And what was I talking about at the start of the game, Steve, about conceding early?
Right, you can't allow them early momentum. That's the last thing you needed. But here's what I'll give credit to, because the kick was short and they had the good deflection to get it out. But then it was but when it happened is it caromed off a Spurs defender right to the foot of Anderson right there.
It was a header out by Porro. Kulu.
And it looked like Tell. It looked like Tell redirected it.
Let's see. It's Anderson with the no. It was Bentoncourt.
Oh, it was Bentoncourt. It hit off the
inside
underleg
of his leg.
Oh.
And it is Anderson for Forest to give Forest a shock 1-0 win. The return of the Nuno. And the Forest now. And look, Forest are very difficult to come back to as well. Oh God. Do you know all that good momentum that we had that's now gone out the window? Look, I want to ask the question. Here's Tottenham trying to fight back. Here's Porro.
I'm at 4:55.
Right. Okay then. So I'll let you know when I get there.
All right.
Oh God, I'm well ahead of you.
Where are you at?
I'm going to stop it at 6 minutes, right?
Okay.
So let me know when you get to 6 minutes, and then we will we will get there. So let me know when you get 6, and then we should be spot on.
Yeah, it's not on Peacock today, so I have to use other streams today. It's unfortunate. Good Lord, man.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was the deflection. What was interesting, it was Matisse Tell, that flick that put it on Anderson's foot, and then Rodrigo Betancourt off the underleg.
I think it was Porro with the header out, and then it got deflected. Where are you now in time, sir?
6:10, sorry.
All right. Well, you're 10 seconds ahead of me. That's fine. I don't mind you being 10 seconds ahead of me.
Here's Van de Ven. Tell down the left-hand side. Back to Van de Ven. Here's Benton.
Actually pause it and we'll link up. It'd be easier if we're linked up.
All right.
So what are you now?
Give me a second.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Everything froze. Okay.
Oh, no. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's my bad. Yeah. All right. I think I might have to go ahead with the play-by-play. I'll catch up.
Oh, okay. I'll just get it up to 7 minutes, and then I will start the clock again, guys, at 7 minutes. Oh, hang on. I'd started there. Well, yeah, there we go now. It is back.
I'm at 7. I'm at 7:54, 55.
Oh, you're right. You're
I'm at 8 right now.
You're a minute ahead of me.
Let me hit the pause button there.
Here's Forest now. Lovely ball through the top. Here's Forest on the break. They're going to go 2-0 up. Oh, look at that. Oh, good defending by Spurs. I'm at 7 minutes, 30 seconds at the moment. I'll let you know when I'm nearly at 8.
Okay. Go ahead and just continue.
Here is now Romero. Romero now striving forward like a bulldog against Van de Ven. His partner in crime to Jed Spence. Can Tottenham now 1-0 down to an early goal in the 4th minute by
where are you at now?
White. 3, 2, 1, hit.
Okay. You're at what? 8 minutes?
8 minutes yet.
All right.
Here's Kulu. Oh, that's a gun out. Oh, that's gone out. Headed back in by Spurs. Here's Gibbs White now. He's running that midfield, by the way. I'm telling you now. He's absolutely running that midfield. I don't know if it's you. Oh, Gerard says 2-0. 3. 2. Oh, don't tell me we've gone 2-0 down. Don't tell me we've gone 2-0 down now. Oh, here is Forest now on the break. Oh, they're checking for offside. Here's Forest all the way back to the goalkeeper. Richie pushing, chasing, not getting any much help. There's Bentancur with the header given away. Bentancur having a bad start to the game. Here we go. Here's Forest now. I like the Keeler big up. It's been called offside, says Stan. Would you stop spoiling it for us in the chat? Stop being spoilers. Don't tell us. Let's join together and celebrate together.
Oh, no.
Crossfield ball. Here's Gibbs White. Oh, lovely point for Gibbs White. Good tackle that was. But here's Forest now. Forest on top at the moment. I'm telling you. Forest are all over us. Now you're right, Dan. Cross ball in. Oh, do you know what? Oh, well, we know this is going to be offside because the lad has said, but
yeah.
I mean, how sloppy do we have to be in defense, Steve? That's woeful defending.
Yeah, for sure. But the crazy thing is, like, when you're looking at when that cross went in, it looked like 2 defenders. The two top attackers were offside.
Yeah,
definitely one. As we're just waiting for it, and now my stream is crapping out again.
Let's see now. It is. Oh, do you know what? His arms offside.
Yep.
And
looks like it's coming back.
Yeah.
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 He was definitely offside. Ooh. Chris Wood was offside, so that is huge.
That is mighty. Big up 404 of you in the house already. Big up to you, everyone. Do hit and like and subscribe on Stateside Footy on THFC till we die. There's Ange with his hands out going like this, going, we are Tottenham all over the. We are Tottenham. For what we. Oh, what time are you again at, Steve?
I'm at 11:43.
You're well ahead of me.
Okay. Where are you at?
I'm 11:05.
All right. Let me hit. All right.
No, it's all right. Just leave it. It's all right. Because I don't want you to lose your stream, by the way.
Yeah, me neither. But that was by the way, that was huge that gets, that second goal comes off. That's actually huge, and hopefully it pays dividends here.
I hope it does. But here is now Mickey van der Ven. Mickey van der Ven now to Tell on the wing. Oh, here's Jed Spence. Good on, Jed. Go on, Jed Spence. Get it in. Go on. Get it in, son. He crosses it in. Good header out. Here is Porro. Porro dinks. There's Kulu now. Tottenham putting a bit of pressure on. Will Porro have a shot? He will, Good header out by Forest. Forest defending very well, Steve, aren't they? They really are.
Their back line looks very compact, and we're gonna have to show a little bit more bravery from the central part of the attack, getting runners in. We're gonna have to figure out a way to peel defenders off. And look at Richarlison was just mugged.
Here is Tell now. I'm probably going to say it now in a minute. Here's Tell. Tell ginks in. Lovely ball from Tell. Pushes it out wide now. Good pressing from Spurs. Good. This is what we want to see. This is good. This is good tempo by Tottenham. But again, Forest look to be very. Oh, Richarlison's down again. Jesus Christ.
It looks like he's getting injured.
Yeah, thank God. Big up to everyone in the house. Is that a penalty? Do you know what? That's a shout for a penalty there.
I agree.
I don't. Yeah, of course VAR won't look at it because VAR doesn't like Tottenham. Corner to Spurs. Oh, Bentancur. His tail. Tail gets deflected. Pinball machine football. Oh, go on, Porro. Go on. Go on, Kulu. Steve's already seen this. He's in the future. What's the lottery number, Steve?
That's funny.
Steve's in the future. On his screen, probably Tottenham are winning 3-1 by now.
Yeah, no.
Boris says, guess the other positive about being the Spurs is that we know we'll be better in one half than the other. I feel second half we'll have us being better. Just start with Ange at the start of the match, given these halftime bollocking at the start of the match. That might work. What's your thought? Sort of 14, 15 minutes in, Steve. What's your thought the first 15 minutes? Not been a great start from Spurs, has it?
Right. The goal conceded obviously is was heartbreaking. But outside of that, like when Spurs are getting forward, there are avenues where Spurs can exploit their back line. It's just going to be an issue of whether or not they're actually going to take those chances. That's the big thing for me.
Yeah. Go on, Dave, the joke. Go on, Dave, the goat. Let's hear your joke. Go on, put it in there, son. There's Ange. I do like Ange's jacket, by the way. You are right. It does look very stylish, Steve.
Looks very
Jesus Christ. Oh, for fuck's sake. Please tell me you're wrong.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, don't think we are. What do you call an overweight polar bear? I don't know. What do you call an overweight polar bear?
What do you call it?
An icebreaker.
An icebreaker? That's fine.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Seriously. It's a free kick to Forest. Romero's arguing. Kulu's arguing. Romero looks a bit hot-headed. Big up to Erwin and Steve and chat. By now it's 2-0. Fuck's sake. I know. Oh, God. Mr. Lee. Philip, I know. Just be careful, sir. You know what I'm on about. Turn it off now. Just turn it off now. And I don't know. What do something nice.
And what's funny is we knew coming in that this is exactly what Forrest was going to do. They're going to try to fire chili peppers in the box to Chris Wood, and it's like there has to be some accountability of trying to get him off his runs. And it's like, good Lord, man, all of a sudden we're not even 20 minutes in and they're up 2-0.
You do not give Forrest a 2-0 lead head start. Oh, Philip said he's already watching Coronation Street. I changed the scoreboard. That is fucking ridiculous. How the hell? A delivery again. Well, who's marking that? The Alegna. Nobody's marking him. He's allowed to get his cross in. He's onside. And look at that. I mean, for fuck's sake.
And the biggest problem with this is like, and you can understand why I would rather have Jed Spence on the right side than Pedro Porro. Like,
I do.
Like, it's like, that's the thing. It's like you're going to on a free kick, you're going to allow a dude just to meander down the right hand side, just allowing to have free access to crosses in the box. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
The answer to your question was Pedro Porro. That's the answer to your question.
Yeah, I mean, Ange does not look happy. All the pressure now. We're gonna get all the shit again, aren't we? We want Ange out tonight. We want him gone. Do you know how much more of this can we take, sort of thing, Steve? I mean, it's the Bartonelli scored there, by the way.
Well, from the narrative of Ange out, that's going to continue, right? But that being said, I think we all already understood that all our eggs are in the Europa League basket.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to win this match, but that being said, our league form is absolute dog shit. So it is what it is, right? So as long as that first leg against Bodo Glimt comes good, it is, these results are going to be what they are.
Yeah, they are. 13 changes in 2 Premier League games. Look, I understand the changes. I understand that we had to give other players a chance tonight. I get that. But is it, again, Steve, does this go with your argument that rotating is you tried with a gap between now and Liverpool? Do you just play with your strongest 11 and give them a
Right.
few days off and then
That was my whole thing, because we don't
yeah,
have the midweek fixture. There was
no,
no need to have heavy rotation today. Like in my predicted lineup, I had what, 3, maybe 4 changes. Like I
yeah,
understood that Madison. The biggest thing about it is if Madison was actually healthy, and I think he's on the bench today.
yeah,
Uh, if he was healthy and ready to dress, he should have started today with Kulusevski up top.
yeah,
But that being said, my rotation was that I did expect Sar in the midfield. I did expect Odegaard off the right,
yeah.
and I did expect Jed Spence in for Pedro Porro. Minimal rotation, but with the same core that actually played top notch against Frankfurt.
Well, that was a good shot there by Odegaard. It got a little there, a good shot and a good save, of course, from the Forest keeper. But Odegaard, what a good shot that was. And then Sell gets it out for a corner.
There was just no
Oh,
need
God.
for heavy rotation today.
Yeah.
Here's Tell.
Tequila's asking you a question. He's curious. He says, let's see what happens here. He says, I'm curious why Steve thinks Ange's a good manager.
Check his trophy cabinet.
Mm.
That's why, right? Because here's the thing: every step along the ladder, and you can put down the Japanese league and the Scottish Premiership and the A League down in Australia, but every step that he's moved on, he took initial adversity and then he goes on to win the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's done that in 3 different destinations, and oh yeah, he also won a trophy with Australia, a national team that doesn't win anything. That maybe once every 4 decades has like a golden generation, and he got them qualified for two World Cups, and he won his Confederations Trophy, something that Australia just does not do, and he was able to get that done. The thing about it is, it's like I respect Ange because he wins, wins, and it's just you don't have to like him. Yeah, you don't have to like him. It's understandable because he's bullish in the way that he plays football. But that being said, it's like, how many trophies does this dude need to win before you're convinced that you can at least have respect for his abilities?
Yeah, I mean, he does go and say, but there are levels, though, and everyone has a level. I do understand that, but he is a winner. And as much as I'm a massive Celtic fan as well, I've seen him up in Celtic. I was so delighted when he came. And yes, I've been angry with him this year when we've lost against teams where we shouldn't have lost against, or we lost against Arsenal, lost against Liverpool, and we've been too gung-ho. I do feel he could adapt more. I've never rarely lost that faith in Ange that can he do it? Yes. Could he be successful? Yes, given the right players and the right team around him. Again, I keep saying it, but the transfer windows come back to bite us on the arse.
100%.
You go and buy Solanke or an Ivan Toney. Look, I'm sorry, Ivan Toney guarantees your goals. Solanke guarantees your hard work.
Yeah. Victor Gyökeres from Sporting CP guarantees you goals. What I'm saying is, like, for me, like, okay, fine. You don't have to like Ange Postecoglou. That's fine. And I want to make this very clear, because I am not Ange in or out. I'm not Levy in or out. I'm Tottenham in. And I just want what's best for this club, because my level is up here. It's consistent Premier League championships and consistent top finishes in the Champions League, because I actually think we're that kind of club. That being said, if the decision comes down that Ange Postecoglou is not the guy, I'm going to support the next guy. But here's the thing: it's not all Ange Postecoglou, and Dermot just highlighted it very eloquently, that he has been let down with our transfer strategy. And if it is to be true that Scott Munn and Johan Lang were playing against Ange Postecoglou because they didn't want to work with them, those two need to leave as well too, because to me that's cancer.
That's criminal. That is criminal.
That's criminal.
It is criminal. Look, we're gonna look. We will sync up for the second half, guys. So we will be properly doing. We will sync up, me and Steve.
Yeah.
Look, I'm looking at it now, Steve, and it's just no belief, is there? There's no belief in this team. We're okay going so far. Then when we get did we get to the final bit and his Jed Spence doing a bit of magic, but again, it's just there's no confidence. Gibb White is literally running this midfield.
Yeah. You know what's
I mean, look at that ball. He did a ball there, Steve, with the outside of his foot.
Ooh.
Oh, hello. Are we going to get a chance?
Kulusevski. Listen, we said it before, right before the thing. It's like the ability to be on the front foot from the first whistle, making sure that you have constant attacking pressure, and then putting in that first goal first, right? The last thing you want to do is allow Nottingham Forest to steal all the momentum. And sure enough, there was lapses on defense, and they put 2 in, and it's like now now you're in a position where you have to be efficient and sharp on the attacking end while still maintaining intensity.
We got to come out, haven't we? We've got to attack this, and that's going to leave gaps in the back, isn't it? And that's where Forest have been. That's where Forest have done so well this season. They've been a great counter-attack team. That's how they won.
It's criminal, that second goal, allowing home dude to just run free down the right side to put a cross in. That's the thing. It's like it's just like I like the starting 11, but that being said, I was questioning Pedro Porro's inclusion into this lineup today. Man. That's
I know what we've been told, right, and what we've been given, but that should have been a free kick. And Romero went in there with his studs, by the way.
Yeah.
Good news from the chart says you're sharp at halftime. Halftime. Please tell me what Ange qualities without transfer. Look, I get it, right? Look, 17 defeats this season, Steve, is nowhere good enough. If you're any manager, you should get the sack for that.
100%.
How definite, again, we're going to get it tonight after this if we do end up losing this game. And the way we've started that, we're going to get battered up in Liverpool next week. We will get battered up in Liverpool if we play like this. Look, we all know. Yeah, well, look, Liverpool have been really more consistent. I think one of the teams, that's why they're going to win the league. But why have we started so badly at home? I mean, it's not, we've come off a really good result against Frankfurt. This is a team really we should be beating. I know Forest are having a great season, but let's be honest about it. They should be where we are, and we should be where they are.
Yeah, so, I don't want to take anything away from Forest and the talent they have, but this is what happens when you have a manager that has total buy-in from his squad. They believe in themselves, and they believe they can go out and compete and beat anybody in this league. And that's something that we were all wondering whether or not Ange has it. And then you see a performance, like last week, and then you're like, oh, okay, so they are bought in. Fair enough, right? So what is it with this team where it takes them 15 minutes to get into the match, right? That's the question. And to me, I think it's also a talent issue. I think we have positions that desperately need better talent. And again, I always get back to, if James Maddison is healthy and he's on the bench and he's dressed, he should have been starting today, along with Kulusevski.
I mean, look, and there's Tel over top. Look, I get it. I get Tequila's, and I do agree with Tequila what he's saying in the facts that maybe this is Ange has reached his level. Maybe this is a level too far for him. And I think you and me, Steve, are smart enough and ready.
Are we gonna say the same thing if he lifts the Europa League? No, we're not, because he delivers a trophy, right? So what I will say is 2 things this year. Number one, injuries. And I don't care what coach you have. You could be the best coach in the world. When you lose 8 of your starting 11, you're gonna suffer. But also, I get back to the transfer windows, the summer transfer window. And while I did like the additions of Odebear, Bergvall, and Gray, we did not get any proven winners in through the door. And And that has to change. We didn't do it in the January window either. It has to change this upcoming summer. You have to give Ange Postecoglou actual proven winners along with this core for them to kick on. And if that doesn't happen, it's, like I kind of cringe for next season. But that being said, it's like I don't believe that you can bring in an Andoni Iraola and all of a sudden things will change. You might get a manager bounce, but overall,
oh god, good header that was, and it's going out. It's offside. It's offside. Look, I think the players at Factory they've given up on the league. You can quite see the players have given up on the league. It's all about
that. I will agree with that. I will agree with
that. They're already on the beach when it comes to the league.
And that also bugs me though, right? Because it lets you know where their commitment is, and it also probably pisses off guys like Mikey Van de Ven and Dejan Kulusevski, who actually are trying to win games.
I mean, we could. I know it sounds stupid, but going up to 13th, that's a confidence boost for the team. We're going up.
Yeah,
the league.
I agree.
We're going up 3 or 4 places. So look, I understand people that want Ange out. I get it that they want Ange gone. I do get it, and you can't argue against it because the proof and the stats and the results are there to back that up. They are, but as you say, we do have to take injuries into the account. But there is an argument that, is that going in? No. Bournemouth had the same sort of injuries that we have had.
And different injuries to different position players. But what I will say is, let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
Because I look at dudes like Kulusevski, Vicario, Van de Ven, Romero. I look at those guys as winners. And then I look at some other guys. If they're not taking the league seriously, and I understand, man, we're not going to finish in the top 10. Understand, but there is a sense to play for pride, to kind of get back and finish stronger than how everything is proceeded, and that should be something that a player should want. Does that make you look at players different, where they're just not trying? Everything is in the Europa League. The league doesn't matter. To me, I think that's a loser's mentality.
It is a loser's mentality. I agree with you 100%. Colm actually hits the nail on the head. I think this answers your question more than anything. That if you're giving up on the league, why you're not playing your kids or B team players? That's what United are doing now, and keeping our important players away from injury. I think that's spot on. I can't argue with that. And look, if Ange was to come out and say, look, this is what we're doing. We're going to concentrate on the Europa League. I know our league season's been crap, but we are going to keep the important players for the league, for the Europa League, and we're going to win that. Let's win that. I think most fans would take that, would understand that.
Sure.
Instead of coming out.
Because you can still start the occasional starter, like maybe a Richarlison or Kulusevski that have to get back up to a 90-minute plateau. But a guy like Dane Scarlett or Callum Aloisi, Mikey Moore, some of these guys, and by the way, Brendan Johnson, Solanke, and James Madison are warming up on the sidelines right now. Yeah. But that being said, it's like, the continued development of Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall, giving Danso some run. Like it's like that's the one thing that that's the one thing you kind of have to respect about Ruben Amorim. He understands where they are at the league, and maybe that's not important, but giving some of these young kids some run, definitely.
I mean, what gets me right, James Madison and Brendan Johnson are laughing and joking on the touchline.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, that is pissing me off completely. Like, look, we're losing
because it's a joke. Because it's a big joke.
Yeah. Bigger. Look, one thing I like about Amorim, right, and I have to give him credit. He's been honest in every press conference. He's been really honest. Like when he said we are the worst United team in history. I mean, he's not sugarcoated anything of his anger with the players.
Do you know what I respect
manager, by the way?
Do you know what I respect about Manchester United? And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but they got it right. When it was very apparent that Eric Ten Hag had lost the confidence of the board, but also lost the confidence of the dressing room, they made the axe swiftly because they said we're not going to throw away the rest of the season, and they had a dude ready to step in, and it was Ruben Amorim, and it took time for him to evaluate his players, but then he realized that what's left that's important is going to be Europa League, and so we're going to focus on that, and now we're just going to have these kids make a run. I can respect that, and in some ways, yeah, I would have liked to seen Ange Postecoglou kind of go in that direction. And again, I understand the need to play players because you want to keep sharpness. That's understandable. But you can still weave in Archie Gray at the 6 or Mikey Moore. You can weave in Dane Scarlett where, like you can start a guy like Richarlison today, but like maybe in the 60th minute, you're going to bring in Dane Scarlett.
Yeah. Look, I think we should be playing the kids. Look, I think, look, Colin said we had Ericsson playing, Amaros playing, Fredrickson got his debut, Obi got some game time to keep our Europa team safe away from injuries. And look, and there we are, we're playing away. We're not really, we're huffing and puffing without being clinical. But
you also wonder about match sharpness, right? And that's the reason why Ange Postecoglou continues to roll out strong lineups, because he wants to make sure certain guys. Oh boy, home dude just got it. Jed Spence just got his pocket pick. Oh.
Our midfield, right? I'm saying it now. Our midfield is absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
Bentancur's having a woeful game. Kulu's not having the best game. It's just diabolical.
Do you know what this also tells me is that a guy like Pat Sarr probably isn't a starter.
No.
And that his best attributes are going to be like in 20 to 30 minute pockets.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's like also chemistry, right? Not having James Maddison potentially affects Bentancur, but it's like, that being said, you're giving a start, and your job is to go out there and actually act like you give a shit.
Do you know what? This stinks to me like Fulham, like the Wolves game did. And we did the Wolves game. Are you getting the same vibes from that game as I'm getting? Because I'm getting the same vibes here.
Dude, this back four is disjointed. The attack looks disjointed.
Yeah.
And there's opportunities to exploit Forest's back line. And it doesn't seem like they're looking for the correct pass. It just looks like they're being reactionary.
Well, look, I'm asking a question. Look, we know the answer to this, but I'm being hypothetical with this, right? Big up to Geeks. He says, "Hey guys, roll on next season." As far as the league goes, many of us, I do wonder if Amarin's first 22-23 games were from the start of the season when he still be employed. Maybe Colin can answer that one, man. Nuno got 17 games, yeah. And he got the sacks after losing 3-1 against Man United. Big up Stephen Thomas as well. Can't help but think the players had more to do with the win in Germany than this Postecoglou. Look, I'm going to be hypothetical with the question, Steve, here for you.
No, Postecoglou got the tactics right in Germany.
He did get. I have to
say he got the lineup and the tactics completely right, and then late, and then protecting the league late by going to a back five, and it's like, that was a stroke of brilliance, right? So it's like to sit there and say that, to not give Ange Postecoglou flowers for not only his substitutions in Germany, but also just the way that he, it was a clinical performance by Ange Postecoglou. And I can say the same thing today with this starting 11 as well, too. It's just these players came out flat, period.
Yeah. Hello. It's Dominguez has gone down for Forest. Look, I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question.
See, and look at the chat. We're down 2-0. We look like crap, and all of a sudden, here come the pitchforks and swords, just like I thought it was going to be.
I think they have look, and fans have every right to feel how they feel. I've always said it. Football is a game of emotions. During the game, you're going to be emotional.
Yeah,
you're
going to be. Yeah, 100%. And from the context, if all the eggs are in the Europa League basket, then there should not be the need for swords and pitchforks.
Well, then come out and tell us that then. He needs to come out and tell us that in the press conference instead of saying, we're going to finish high up in the league and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Come out and tell us our eggs are in the our league form may not be great because I'm going to save all the players for the Europa League. We as fans, we can accept that.
Here we
Look,
go.
I want to ask you a hypothetical question, Steve.
Okay.
What Levy's in the stands tonight watching this, right? And we're huffing and puffing. We're not really blowing the house down. I think Forest are
What are you
Forest are
doing,
just
Paper Portal?
yeah. Does Levy say, right, enough is enough? I know what we've been told, but if you're Daniel Levy and you're watching this and you're thinking, right, I've got fans singing my name out, Levy out in the chat. We all know a takeover's going to happen. Do you think, do you know what? Enough is enough. This has to stop. Because the league is important. Forget about, I know the Europa League, but your bread and butter is the Premier League, where you make your money, where you make your where positions mean prizes, and Forest are totally overrun us. Do you say enough is enough and say, right, that's it, Ange? I'm sorry. We'll have. Oh, have we gone 3-0 down?
No.
Oh, thank God.
Matisse still had a wide open look at net.
Oh, jeez. When does it become enough and enough for Levy, do you think, hypothetically?
I think Ange Postecoglou has built up enough stock with the things that he's done, because we're already on to the semifinal of the Europa League. Yeah. If that was the case, then this would have happened months ago, possibly after Tamworth. But that being said, it's like, and I agree with Dave Harris on this take. It's listen. Daniel Levy isn't talking. Johan Lang isn't talking. Scott Mundy isn't talking. The technical staff isn't talking. The one that's sitting front and center running cover for everyone is Ange Postecoglou. So naturally, he's going to take all the heat from it. And because of it, there's a lot of respect built up, because not only does he protect the owner and in the front office, but he also protects the players as well too. And there's a lot of respect for for him taking all the drama. He's taken all the smoke this year. And so it's natural. I would, had he lost in Frankfurt, he probably would have been sacked. Had that happened, he would have been sacked. But because we're in a semifinal, he's going to be given the 2 legs of the semifinal. And if we advance to a final, it is what it is. League form notwithstanding. Yeah,
I mean, the south stand is half empty. There is spaces in the south stand. There's a few empty seats in the stadium, all right. Okay, it could be a Monday night.
Oh God, they just missed an easy header. Oh, Richarlison.
Oh, Richie, what you doing, man? I think you and me are nearly up together now.
Yeah.
What time are you now?
Good question. I'm at 41:21.
Oh, I'm still a minute behind you.
You'll see it. So the crazy thing though is that, and people wonder why I expected Solanke to be in the game today. Why I expected James Maddison to start today. And this is something that kind of bugs me, because we're not in the age of 3 subs anymore, right? No. We're in the age of 5 subs where you can plan accordingly, where you can still put out your best 11, and at half you can make changes, or at the 60-minute mark you can make changes where where Richie can come on, where where Sar can come on at the best time. And it's like, for the love of me, I just don't like the idea that you're going to make all these changes to eventually put in our starting 11. Play your best 11 and then make your changes accordingly.
I think, right, I'm being honest here. I just think this is the worst first half I've seen at home all season.
It's I don't know, man. That loss to Leicester City, that first half was pretty bad.
Yeah, but that's on par with this. I mean, I said it before. Gibbs Wright is Forest are just running that midfield.
Yeah. There's no accountability in man marking and do like Morgan Gibbs White.
I've now fast forwarded. I'm at 44:19. I think I'm at the same time as you now.
I'm at 43 right now.
All right, I'm a minute ahead of you. Yeah, we will pause it, Geeks, and I'll pause it after a minute and let Steve, because Steve's watching it.
Oh, and again, Richie was left unmarked. and that ball goes wide of the post. Matisse Tell hit him too.
Yeah, Jets Fusion, what midfield? No, there is no CDM. We're huffing and puffing. That's all we're doing. Huffing and puffing, and we're not even blowing the house down. Look, I get it. I get fans are angry. I get it. We lose angry. I get it. We win. We're ecstatic. We're such an up and down club. But I just 3 minutes, guys, added on for the end of the first half, guys. What does Ange do? I think he makes substitutions, by the way, halftime.
No disrespect to those that feel that Richarlison's a better player, but Richarlison's had 2 very good opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net in the last 5 minutes and has missed them both.
Yeah. Look, I just think I don't.
Yeah, I get it, Derma. You're frustrated. Totally.
I'm absolutely. I know. I tell you what, Steve. This doesn't happen much on this channel. I'm speechless. I am literally speechless in what I'm seeing. Tequila knows that's a very rare occurrence. And thank you, Tequila. I really appreciate the words. He says, I come here to support the channel and Dermo. My general faith in team is at an all-time low. Yeah, and I appreciate you coming in here, man. I really do. And look, your opinion, everyone's opinion, and Steve will back me up in this, everyone's opinion will be respected and will be honored and will be talked about. We're not like any other channels where you're not allowed to have an opinion. You have an opinion here. And isn't that what football's all about, Steve? It's about opinions, isn't it? That's how the game goes run.
Yeah, like opinions are like assholes, man. Everyone's got one. What I will say is that like I respect everyone's opinion, even if some of them are kind of ridiculous. I still give everyone credence to express their opinions because it matters.
It does.
So let me ask you, Derma, at the half, are you expecting changes at the half?
Oh yeah, I am. I am expecting 3 or 4 substitutions. I very quickly, Tequila says normally you can't shut Dermo up, bless him. So that's the answer for me being speechless.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah. Tequila knows me so well. Out of that team, I'm looking at the team now. I take Richie off. I would take Tell off. I would take Bentancur off. And I would put Kulu on the right. I put Madison in the middle. I would bring on. I'd bring on Dom Solanke for Richarlison.
Here's the weird part. I would actually leave Tell on, but I would take Richie out for Solanke. I would take Odebear off. Odebear looks absolutely gutless. I would take Odebear off. I would put Johnson and Solanke into that front line. Yeah. I would take Sarr off and I'd put in James Madison. I would leave Bentancur on for at least 10, 15 minutes to start the second half. And if that doesn't change, then I bring on Bergvall. And I'm also bringing in Destiny Udogie and moving Spence over to the right side, taking off.
It is halftime, guys, and it is a disastrous first half for Spurs. Absolutely. I would love to know if there was boos ringing out. I think there would have been. But look, Man United, Arsenal, and I think the Geeks and Colin are making good points here. Man United and Arsenal both fielded sort of weakened sides because of their European commitments. We're not. We're doing half and half, and it isn't working. This, for me, look, Ange Postecoglou may be in the semi-final of Europa League. Yeah, that gets him a bit of credit. But first halves like that, any other manager would have been gone by now.
Oh.
Would have been gone by now. This is going to be our 18th defeat of the season. We probably dropped down to 17th, which is one off relegation fodder. James is on. Go on.
But just a reminder, because Ipswich lost, we cannot be relegated.
No, thank fuck. James, before we get your thoughts and before you start throwing stuff at the telly, I'm surprised if you have a telly after that first half performance. Just Geek says, I'm a gooner. And I have hit the like button. Hang on, I haven't got it up there. I will bring it up actually. It says, I am a gooner. I've hit the like button and subbed. You Spurs lot, support your own. Like and subscribe. They are decent people. Well, Geeks, thank you so much. You're so kind. And I know you, and I can't wait to do this NL podcast, NDL podcast next season with you. Really looking forward to it, man. Steve, anything you want to say to Geeks? I mean, I've done the show with him. He's a really nice lad, actually. I'm one of the nicer Arsenal fans. So big up to you, Geeksy.
Yeah, well, what's funny is one of my good friends over here is a gooner as well too, and he pings me on Facebook with just smiley faces, just smiling faces, right? Because he's watching Spurs sports as well too, and all he's doing is just throwing shade with smiley faces, right? It's frustrating.
James, have you anything positive to say about that first half, or was it drove you to drink already?
First of all, evening, guys. I hope you both are well.
Good seeing you, James.
Yeah, good to see you both
that's
too.
The best thing. I think the best thing that happened, the three of us are talking. The rest of it's just a heap of showing.
Look, very disappointing first half. We need to be moving that ball quicker. Couple of substitutions at half time. I think Bentancur looks a bit off the pace. Maybe swap him out with Bergval. Tell looks like a different player, like he's a play possessor. He's playing well. And we need to move the ball quicker. Said it so many times this season. We need to be shifting that ball, and we're not. And it's allowing Forest to sit back and just soak it up. So yeah, I mean, we've controlled possession. We've actually controlled the game. We've just not created anything. It's very frustrating. It's very annoying. I mean, to concede within 5 minutes is, again, just absolutely diabolical. I mean, we were lucky when they nearly put the ball, when we put the ball in the back of the net, but it was offside. It was tight, but it was the right decision. And the second goal, if I could have walked to Tottenham Stadium, I would have pounded Vicario into the ground. I mean, I don't know what possessed him, what he was thinking. Why did he not just stay on his fucking line? It was so goddamn frustrating to see him.
Vicario. I do. I'm just big up to Mr. Brady. He says, any better? No. He says, wife has hidden the remote control.
What's interesting though is it's like when I look at those two goals and I look at the missed opportunity from our center backs, right, out of position, which almost kind of forced Vicario to come off his line to actually make a play on those balls. So at least I can understand it, but I actually do agree with you a little bit there, James. But one of the biggest things is like the addition of Pap Sarr not actually having the fortitude to make internal runs, and it's almost neutered Kulusevski on the other side. And what's interesting about it is like that's kind of why I want to see James Maddison come in at the half, having that other creator off that left side to play 1 and 2 with Matisse Tell or Jed Spence, but also it allows Kulusevski to actually make those runs off the right side. Because one of the things that I keep seeing is the fact that when we are trying to play it into Richarlison, that dude, for the most part, he's been open for a couple opportunities, but for the most part, he's kind of marked 2v1 with defenders. There's just no guts to actually make runs to kind of stretch Forest out.
I'm going to call it now. They're just showing the first goal. Kulu is responsible for that first goal for not marking his man. He had a man behind him. He didn't know Anderson was behind him, and he didn't know he was there. And when he did realize that it was too late, we got the header out from Porro, and he did his job. But Kulu, I mean, and then for the second goal, I totally agree with you, James. I mean, this for me, it was like you've heard of Flying Dutchman in gymnastics.
Yeah,
this was like I'm going to go for the ball, but I'm going to completely miss it and be like a yellow banana flying through the air. I mean, what was he thinking? Stay on his line. He saves it. Is he offside? No. And you got Romero, you got Mickey van der Ven, you got the number 11 Wood stay in the middle of the two of them, and he waltzes through two of them like they weren't there. And then you got Vicario coming out. Look, all he's got to do is flick it. That's all he has to do is put a touch on it, and it's in the back of the net. Again, a great cross from El Negna. There's Vicario. There's Woods. Just all you got to do is tap it. Just head it in the right direction, and you're beating your keeper.
Well, that second goal starts with like that little pass out to the right side, and Pedro Porro takes a sweet ass time of closing down space that allows Alonga to put one in, and it's like, dude, you're supposed to play the ball, which means you actually have to get into position a hell of a lot quicker to stop that cross from going in to begin with anyway.
I'll be back in 2 minutes, Steve. Sorry. Back in 2 minutes.
That's what really pissed me off, James. It's just that there's no accountability with Pedro Porro on that second goal. He allows time and space for them to put that ball in. It baffles me.
It was too easy. It has been too easy for Nottingham Forest in that first half. I mean, I've just been looking at the stats of the first half. We've had 63% of the possession. We've had more shots. We've had a better pass success ratio and more passes of the ball. But once again, we're doing fuck all with it. We're not pressuring them, and we're not moving that ball quick enough to turn the Forest defenders. We're too busy side to side in front of the 18-yard box or in the final third, and Nottingham Forest are just sitting there going, well, pass it there because we don't need to come out. We're 2 goals to good. We need to be moving the ball quicker. We need to be exploiting the space that we've got. And those players need to be busting a fucking gut this second half because it's just not good enough.
Do you think that these players, let me ask you a question real quick. Do you think these players have given up on the Premier League season knowing that Europa League semifinal is right around the corner? Do you think these players have mentally checked out on the league knowing that they still have a chance at a trophy?
Yes. Given that first half display, absolutely. Yeah. There's no heart, there's no desire, there's no drive. It's, we'll just pass it. It's like they're playing a training session. That's what it looks like. It's like the training. Pass, 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 pass. No urgency, no drive, no speed in the movements. I mean, 3 or 4 times we've got the ball in the final third, and we're passing it across the width of the pitch 2 or 3 times, and there's no way through because there's nobody moving. So what do? We go backwards, and it's just wrong. It's the wrong way to win a football game. And like I say, it's just been a frustrating first half. I mean, my poor TV has taken, it's lucky I had a remote thrown through it.
My issue is that I find it a loser's mentality to actually have that stance, and it makes me almost not have respect for a lot of these players that are willing just to be like, whatever, man. It's just a Monday. It's just a Monday evening game at home against Forest. They're going to be in the Champions League. Our focus is on Bodo Glimt in 10 days. So we're going to keep ourselves out of danger. We're not going to injure ourselves. We're just going to show up, but our focus is elsewhere. To me, I don't know, man. I don't know how that makes you feel. I lose respect for players when they don't have that attitude, the right attitude showing up. Like for me, like I don't care who the opponent is. As soon as you step across that white line, you actually have to give a shit. You're professional footballers. You have to at least give a shit.
Yeah.
You actually, or at least pretend like you give a shit.
Exactly. I mean, there's one player on that pitch that seems to be actually trying to drive the attack. Well, 2. It's both down the left-hand side. It's Tell and Spence. They actually seem to be communicating a bit better today, and that's it. And they seem to be wanting to drive and try and play the game, and whether or not that's because like Spence, because he didn't play in the quarterfinal second leg against Frankfurt, and he's trying to prove a point that okay, this is my opportunity. I've got to show up, and he's showing up. And I think Tell is playing for a chance to come back next year, because he will see that if we get into the Champions League by winning the Europa League, he's going to have the opportunity. Yeah, he's going to want to be on the biggest stage. He was going to want to showcase himself on the biggest stage. So to me, those are the two players. Richie, look, he's making the right kind of movements. He should have buried that header. He should have buried that header. That header should have been in the back of the fucking net. And I'm sorry I'm swearing. I will put money in the chat.
Can
I
just add? Sorry, I just want to add something to it. I get what you two are saying. I really do. But it's unacceptable. That first half was unacceptable.
Without a doubt.
I am so pissed off. I want to see changes at halftime. I want to see Ange. And look, I've already spoke to our source to put out the feelers what might happen tonight. Look, Nottingham Forest could have scored 4 or 5 in that first half. We're defensively so wide. We've got no midfield. Our midfield tree was non-existent. And you can praise Odegaard and Spence, and Spence probably 1 or 2 or 3 players that have probably played well. But this is a Premier League game. You cannot choose what games you're up for and what games you're not up for.
Exactly.
People pay good money to go and watch these teams play week in, week out. And if you can't do the basics, like David Clark says, from a corner, Spurs can't even do the basics of defending with non-headers of the ball, making opponents who are outside our box. It's horrendous. And it is. Yeah. Look, I get it. I get it. We want to win the Europa League. I get it. Get it. But if we're going to, as people keep saying in the chat, if we're going to win the Europa League, then fucking play the B team, play the kids, and be honest with us. This is what we're going to do for the foreseeable future. I think 100%. As a fan, I would respect Ange more for that than coming out with a load of BS. He's been coming out in the press conferences with the BS he has been coming out with. And there's well, we're not doing this. Oh yeah, look, and all getting touchy and angry. Do you know? We all want trophy, yes.
Yeah.
But I also want commitment within the Premier League. If you're going to do what Man United and Arsenal are doing, be damn well honest with us. We'll accept that.
Do you guys? Here's an interesting question, and it just crossed my mind. When you see Jed Spence show up and put in the performances he has, do you guys think he's putting himself in the shop window for a potential move out of town this summer?
Go on, James. You go first, man. Can I just say Dan So is actually warming up. Solanke's warming up as well.
I saw his interview with Rio Ferdinand, and it sounds like, I don't know, man. I just wonder if he fancies himself as a starter at this level, and maybe this season was just an opportunity for him to put himself in the shop window.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Just very quickly, Mickey van der Ven's come off for Ben Davies. Mm-hmm. That's a substitution there. And Dan So's coming off from Romero. So it's a double centre-back substitution.
That's an interesting... I mean, what's he thinking there? I mean, well,
I'm just curious. I'm just curious about what you feel, because I mean,
I in all honesty, Steve, thinking about what you're saying there, most Premier League clubs would love to have a player of Jed Spence's quality to bomb down the left wing, playing as a left wing back. And I think he could. I think there'll be plenty of clubs will come looking in regards to who can I play for, and there's there's not many. I think he wouldn't get into the starting 11. There's not many
Right.
teams in the Premier League that wouldn't get into the starting 11.
Steve, where are you on kickoff time, man? Because I wanted to link up with
Good
you.
question. Right now, my stream is at commercial right now, and when it comes back, I'll let you know.
Well, okay. I'm gonna wait till I get to 15 seconds. I'll pause it. And then right,
Yeah,
I'll pause it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Because I don't know, man. Jet Spence just gives me the vibes like he's got the it factor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems like he just wants to win, and I don't know, whether or not, he views Spurs as staying at Spurs is a good career move for him. I don't know. The body language says something.
Yeah. But James, we'll get you in at full time, mate. We'll get your response then. Enjoy the second half. Try to keep your telly intact if you can.
Yeah, I will do my best.
And we will speak to you then. Are you all right for final score to come on?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Yeah,
Good
I will be here. Yeah, just stick me backstage. I'll leave it on, and I'll just I'll just leave it here, and you can just pull me back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and it looks like
later, man.
Yeah, and it looks like we're about ready to start the second half, and I'll let you know when it kicks off. And it looks like Ben Davis is in.
15, man.
Yeah, it looks like Ben Davis is in. It looks like Danso is in.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Unless they're injured, unless they've picked up an injury, I don't know why.
Well, because the game is out of reach, and so you're going to take players off to protect them.
Well, you shouldn't have started them in the first place. Right. To be fair.
Yeah,
all right, where are you now, man?
I'll let you know when we kick off.
Yeah.
And you said you're at 45-15?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you know when we get there. You all right, bud?
Yeah, I'm just. If you don't laugh, you cry.
Oh yeah, I hear you. It looks like Forrest is making some changes too.
Yeah, they are. Elenegna's come off as well.
Mm.
From Muntu.
Who's that strapping young man with the neck tattoos for Forrest? All right, so it looks like we're about ready to kick off here.
Okay.
And I'll let you know when I hit.
Have you seen our lineup? With we've got about 10 going forward and 2 defenders.
That's funny.
Oh, Lord.
And it looks like we're about ready to kick off here in the second half for your beloved Tottenham Hotspur, who are trailing 2-0. All right, and we've kicked off. And we are at 45:05, 45:10. There's 12, 13, 14, 15.
Right, there you go. Which should be, and it's with Vicario. There we go.
Yep.
Big up, I want to say massive big up to Carl Simpson, member for 11 months. Big up to you, Carl. He says, sod this. I'm going to watch paint dry. I will come back when we are bothered. Well, do join this for final score, Carl. It will be interesting. It will be me just going mental. Big up to Michael McDonald as well. Good evening, Tottenham. Good evening, Michael. And David Clark says, Dan's just done something sensible. Shit, good job I'm sitting down for that. Fuck me, Dave. You nearly knocked me over with a feather. Taking off Romero and Van der Ven. Romero, that manic with his stupid yellow card, and Van der Ven as a precaution. Yeah, exactly.
Boy. And Tell Tell gets his pocket picked right there.
Do you know what? I don't think I'm getting really frustrated with Tell, to be fair.
Yeah, today has not been a great performance, but here we go on the overlap. Here's Tell into the box. Oh, nice. That looked a little nice there. So there you go. He gets dumped.
Yeah. You will win the European Cup. Things will turn good. Keep the faith. I tell you one thing, keeping the faith is very
that was a nice little move by Tell. He kind of deep two defenders to make a nice little run forward. And then I like that little touch to try to, but there was Murillo right there just to kind of clean it up. But then Murillo dumps Tell.
It does.
And,
Well, it is a free kick to Spurs
yeah.
here, isn't it? We tell over the ball. There's Dice Denson, and we've got Ben Davis.
Tiny Danso.
Yeah.
Yep. Tiny Danso.
I hope we sign him for Tiny Dan. Yeah, I like that. Free kick. Spurs, can we get a goal back here? Good.
Can we get one back early?
Yeah, that's what Vicario should have done in the first half. Come out and command his area. Come on, Dermo. Keep the faith in Ange. Michael, you know me. You know me.
Ugh.
I hate it when we lose. You know I hate when Tottenham lose. I can't stand it.
Dude. We are just not a good free kicking team.
No. It's going to be a corner to Tottenham. Good start. I tell you what, there's a lot of empty places in that south stand, by the way.
Ugh.
There's a lot of empty spaces in that south stand.
You know, I mean, there's just a lot of frustration. Not with this performance, but the season as a whole. It's kind of been a car crash. And it just so happens that the bottom three were that much more worse than us, that we managed to stay up by the skin of our teeth.
Here's Ben Davis now with the ball, trying to bring it forward. Tottenham trying to come back from 2-0 down. We've done it before. We've came back from 2-0 down before, by the way. And we have
by the way, it's like, as frustrated as it is, I still recognize there's an entire second half that there's going to be opportunity for us to at least level this game. So I'm keeping the faith.
We can allow Forest to get a third. If Forest get a third, then I think it's game over. A 2-0, I still think we can get something out of it, Steve, to be fair.
I keep the faith. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
If Forest get the third and put us to the sword, it's all over. But I still think that I still have the faith, my guy.
Yeah, I feel Ange is under so much pressure. Like, he really must be under immense pressure. Carl says, I just think Forest are way too strong.
Yeah.
Look,
that's also a part of the equation.
Yeah, and we said it in the build-up, didn't we? That this season's league has been so inconsistent with teams down the bottom that shouldn't be down there, and teams in the top six that shouldn't be there. It's been such an up and down season. But here's Tottenham, good play, one-touch football, either bar with a cross, and it goes out. Oh, good kick out from Forest, but good one-touch football there from Spurs. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get. We should have started with Davis and Danso in the back too, and just not play Romero. And if he's going to do that, the only problem is, do you think he's taking Romero Van de Ven off as a precaution because of his hamstring? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I on the one hand, I like the aggressiveness of Ange Postecoglou to put this 11 out, but now that they're 2 down and made the changes, it's like I can see where you're coming from. You know what I mean? It's like, you probably should have just started these two.
What really? Oh, here's Forrest now, and here's Gibbs White now. Here's Gibbs right now, really pulling the strings in that midfield. Right annoys me too. I'm seeing all the advertising for the big fight there on Saturday, like at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Like, that's just, we've become an entertainment venue, not a football club. That's the frustrating part for me. It does. I get it. We've got to make it on the revenues, but enough is enough. Like.
Yeah, but that being said, it's also the leadership and the direction of those that are at the top, right? I mean, you can if you want to blame Ange for everything, fair enough, man. Do what you got to do. But I just think that when you
I'm not blaming Ange for everything.
Not you specifically. I'm just saying in general, those that fans that want to. It's like, but that being said, when you don't bring in players that have winning experience, that don't, like that there is something to that. Like, if you're going to have a young team, you have to surround them with people that have been at the top of the mountain before. You need that leadership on the pitch. And outside of like literally who on this team has actually won major trophies, that have been there, that have done that know what it feels like to be in those situations.
Ooh, Oh, unlucky. Look, the fans are really getting frustrated. Do you think fans have already left at half time, Steve? Because
I
that
wouldn't
you
be
look at that
surprised.
West Stand, it looks really sort of half emptied, like.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
Jared,
yeah, James just said that, yeah, Romero has a World Cup. And it's like, yeah, no, true. But that being said, international football is something different from a 38 game Premier League schedule plus cup matches or European, European side games as well, too. It's like, I'm just like, man, I would love to see a couple guys come through the door that have consistent Champions League experience. I would love it.
yeah, I tell you, I bet you Nuno is really having a quiet laugh to himself
Yeah.
at Levy for sacking it. I bet he is. And I wouldn't
Yeah.
blame him either, by the way. I bet he's turning around and said, I told you, reference, I was a good manager. I mean, Forest are a relegation side, to be fair, and they're not this championship side. Big up, more fans in the pub than the stadium. Yeah, big up to Gerard.
Yeah, that's funny. Bestie ain't walking through that door. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, Papa Sarr with the ball, and it just flicks out wide, and Papa Sarr shakes his head. It was a good cross in from Porro as well. Got deflected. There was
that cross was a little bit behind him, but yeah, I kind of like the aggression of it.
Yeah, I do. Carl says the takeover cannot come quick enough, as yes, Ange and the players are to blame, but nothing compared to Levy and his board exactly. But it's a free kick to Forest, a goal kick to Forest. 53 minutes gone. We're 2-0 down here at the mightiest, at the greatest stadium in the world.
I just think that with some of these players, especially in the front office, there's a loser's mentality. And when you have a guy like Ange who wants to win, who's passionate about being the Spurs boss, and whose level is high, and then this is what you get. There's an old saying, Derma, where if you buy cheap, you get cheap results.
I tell you one thing, Forrest just missed a sitter there.
That's good.
Gibbs White just. Oh God!
Ooh.
Don't start watching Tiddlywink Super League now. I was sent an article by Column just now. I'm gonna. It's an exclusive. Tottenham to lose Van de Ven or Christian Romero as stance changes. Christian Romero and Mick Van de Ven could both be bound for Exeter at Tottenham this summer, sources of Total Football Insider. Tottenham squad looks set for a significant overhaul in the transfer market and could also be led by a new manager next season if Ange Postecoglou is given the boot despite the Europa League disputes. Look,
I don't buy it.
I don't. Well, look, it's a report. It's only something that's an article, so you can read into it what you will. But look, there's no secret Romero wants to leave. There's no secret that he wants Champions League football, and if we don't win the Europa League, then can you blame players? They all want Champions League football. So
sure, but that being said, it's like when you have like the nuts and bolts of a good team are already in place. And that's the thing. It's like if you lose both Romero and Van de Ven this offseason, you might as well just blow it up.
Stephen makes a very good point here. Forest have an FA Cup semi-final this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. If any, then we should be smashing them tonight. Oh yeah, but they're putting out. They're killing us. And they have an FA Cup semi-final this weekend. It's just, I don't know. I'm just so. It's just, it feels like these players are on the bench or on the beach already. And then when it comes to Europa League, oh yeah, we'll turn up for that. But fuck the league, like it's not good enough. It's not good enough whatsoever. But here's Jedi Spence on the march, looking for options, goes back. We've got a great show tomorrow night or Wednesday night, actually, guys, with me and James. We're actually gonna look more into the depth of Lang and Paratici, and we're gonna really look at both of their transfer windows and ask the question: does Paratici need to come back and save this football club? And the answer to that for me is hell yeah. Bring back
without a doubt.
Get him cooking.
Well, because you need to have as many winners that are committed to this club as possible. And by the way, you know that rumor that Munn and Lang were playing against Ange Postecoglou now starts to look more and more and more real.
It does. It does. I look, they're both out the end of the season, and I think that proves that Paratici is coming back. James, I know, has more on that. We will talk about that more in final score. But guys, Forest making a couple of substitutions. I forgot Forest had an FA Cup semi-final this year. Hudson Udi's on as well. I don't know who the other player came on.
Callum Hudson-Odoi comes on for Danilo, and I believe Yates is coming on.
Yeah. Yates is a good player, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, like Nottingham Forest is an absolutely scrappy team.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like they deserve to be where they are.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Please, referee.
And look at that, dude.
No.
Kevin Danso just got bullied off the ball.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, if they allow Mikey Van de Ven to leave, I'm going to be so severely put out. Like, you don't let quality players like them just leave.
No. But if we've got no Champions League football to offer them, what do you expect, Steve? What you can't hold them hostage.
Well, right, but you have an aggressive summer transfer window and you let them know that you're serious about winning. That's how you turn the tide. You show your ambition and you show it in spades.
I think that starts with the manager. I think you start with an aggressive manager. And if look, we all know Mourinho could be available in the summer. Xavi's available. We know the ex-Juventus manager is available. There's some really good managers. And all these people that want Poch back. Why? I don't want Poch back. Poch is had his time in the club.
Well, Poch is not going to be available until after the 2026 World Cup to begin with anyway. So he's still well over a year away from being available. That being said, it's like we will know the answer to Ange Postecoglou after the first leg of the semifinal. If we get dummied by Bodo Glimt, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, I do you know what? I just, as much as I love Ange, and I've said it before and I say it again, Steve, I just want it over and done with. Whichever way, shape, or form that comes in, just put us all out of our fucking misery. Because it feels that we're in, what's the name of that place between hell and heaven?
Valhalla? I don't know.
No, there's a place. There's a place between heaven and hell where I thought maybe someone in the chat can tell me. But it seems like we're there.
Limbo.
Yeah, purgatory. That's it.
Purgatory.
It's like we're in purgatory. We don't know if Ange is going to be sacked or if Ange is going to stay. We're sort of stuck. And I don't think that's good for the players. I don't think that's good for the fans. And I feel this is why we get the performances, because the players don't know if he's staying or going. And then you get the players, they're going to come out again after this. Oh, we're really sorry for the performance and we apologize. I don't want to hear apologies anymore. I don't want to hear I'm sorry. I want performances that's your apology. Performances, winning matches, that is your apology. And
you know, I will say that I think that the players themselves understand that all the eggs are in the Europa League basket, which is why we're getting these performances, because the real game comes against Bodo Glimt in the first leg, and that is very apparent. As far as Ange Postecoglou, you know, again, I think because they haven't sacked him yet, they're waiting on the outcome of that first leg. And I said it again against when I said it against Eintracht Frankfurt. If they had lost, if they lost in Germany, that was it. That was it. You know what I mean? So here's the reality. If he wins Europa League, he will be back for year number 3, because I cannot find any type of logic where you're going to let a dude walk after winning your first European trophy since '84. But that being said, it's like, if you do bring him back, you have, and you have Champions League on the docket, you have to
back him.
You have to back him in a way where you're going to be competitive in Champions League. But that being said, though, if that doesn't come to fruition, everybody will get their wish because he will be gone.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's no. I'm getting at this game right. No passion, huffing and puffing, but no passion. Can you name one player that's trying? Richie hasn't seen the ball at all, and haven't seen Richie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Kulu. I've seen very rare that. Oh, yo, it's off the line. Oh, that was nearly in. That was nearly in. But Forest on the break. The counter attack in Tottenham nearly scored. Oh, and is that going to be free kick to Forest? It is. Oh God, that was nearly in the back of the net.
You had two opportunities
as well.
You had two opportunities from Richie in the first half that went wide, and now you had this other opportunity. I will say that because Forrest jumped out, that almost crossed. Good defense right there to save that from going over the line. That was heading in. That was heading in, and that was what Yates, right? That was Yates right there with the save right there. But that being said,
and Johnson are coming on.
Do you know what the issue is? It's when it's Toffolo who made that one. The issue is when they conceded two within the first 15 minutes of the match. Now all of a sudden you have to go into reaction mode, and because you've been opened up and gashed twice on, twice, now all of a sudden you're not going to take gambles, you're not going to take risks now, and that's why this attack looks the way it is. It's because they're just not going to make those sacrifices to get back into the game. They're going to be more tentative than not.
But anyway, it is Solanke and Johnson are going to be coming on. But here's Forest again, and Forest are starting to get a foothold in the game again, Steve. I think momentum is slightly going in Forest's direction, by the way. It really
I will say that the attack has looked a little better in the second half.
Yeah.
A little, not a lot, but overall, it's been the overwhelming command of Forest has literally put this team in.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, that's a nasty tackle by Gibbs White. He's got booked for that.
He got booked.
That's nasty. Yeah. And Porro's in a lot of pain for that, Steve.
I can see it, yeah.
Gibbs
White come on, Pedro. Come on.
Gibbs White, for me, right, he's really ran that midfield. Here's Forest again. Anderson on the ball. They're just picking this off. They literally are.
By the way, Boris, you're absolutely right. Like, I'm not taking it away from Forest. Forest is playing well for a reason. They're good. They're a good side this year.
There's just this. I don't know. There's Ange bringing on the big guns. What's Brendan Johnson going to do? Fuck all. What's Lange going to do? Get us 2 goals? No, he hasn't fucking... Yeah, he scored a penalty, but he hasn't scored in the league since January.
Dude, your Dermot's hot right now, man. You are hot right now.
I'm pissed.
I totally understand, man. I totally understand. Because the attitude was not there today.
No. It's like us coming on to do a stream and us not giving a shit how the stream looks or how we have to. Oh, here's Richie. Oh, how did you miss that, Richie? Seriously. Fuck it. All you had to do was chip it over his head, you dimwit.
Very carefully. That's how. Oh,
do you see what I mean? All he had to do was just.
Well, within that close quarter, it's not the chip up; it's to knock it down underneath the arm.
Yeah. What's he? Oh, fuck's sake! This is the problem we faced when we sold Harry Kane. And look, and I'm on the opinion you had a year left in his contract. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't with Harry Kane. So, are you going to let him go for nothing? No. Are you going to get money from him? Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, James's expression is priceless right there.
Yeah, I can see him.
Oh man. Looks like Sells is down right now.
Yeah, Kulu's off for Johnson, and Solanke is on. I don't know who else has come off. Odegaard's come off for Johnson. Kulu has come on for Solanke.
Yeah.
So Solanke,
That's
put
fine.
Richie out. Put Richie
That's
out
fine.
wide. Put Solanke in the middle.
So Oliver comes off for Johnson. Kulu is off for Solanke, and so who's running the ship as far as the the creative distribution. Who's going to be that guy?
Oh, well, Johnson better put a shift in. He better fucking put a shift in. Because if he doesn't, I'd be severe. Look, Johnson knows his performance, but anyway, look, we're coming up to 70 minutes to go now. 70 minutes gone, 20 minutes left. Here's Tottenham with Danso. Danso coming forward, puts it out. Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. Do we not even know how to pass a ball?
No.
No. Match stats since Woods' goal. Tottenham 11 shots on goal. We've totally dominated the game. But again, we're great at dominating games. We're great with dominating with possession. We're great with dominating with passes. We're doing all the things, but we cannot fucking score. Oh, Jesus. I've just seen James's reaction. Please don't tell me that's a goal against us. No, well, okay then. We're getting a backseat DJ Samuel. Highway the Hell. Yeah, great song by a great band. We're on the highway to something. Here's Danso.
To the Looney Bin.
To Johnson. Johnson to Porro. Porro looking, doesn't, and it goes out for a throw-in. Johnson takes his time. Oh, yeah, just take your fucking time with the ball. Why don't you? Yeah. Oh, we've got plenty of time, lads. Don't worry about it. We'll be grand.
Will be grand.
Jesus Christ. Here's Porro. Porro to Johnson. Johnson passes it to Forest player. We know. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here's Woods now. Oh, is the referee giving that a free kick or a throw-in? What's he giving?
Oh, wow. Brennan Johnson. Brennan.
Is that a go? Do you know what? I think Ben Davies is very lucky there. The referee could have sent him off for stopping the goal if that was nearer up the pitch, by the way. We've got David Clark. Ange just doesn't get it. He changes his system and keeps a clean sheet on an away win against a team who haven't lost at home time 23 games yet, plays at home. I'm back to the I know. 20 minutes left. Any hope we might actually get something out of this game, Steve?
I would love to see them get on the score sheet. I'd love to see them at least come together for at least one attack where they put the ball in the back of the net, so they don't get a clean sheet against them. But I don't know, man.
Oh, his tail.
I just want to
go on. Corner.
I just want to see some intensity.
Yeah. Forest looked like they want it more.
Oh, nice through ball.
Yeah, it is. That was a very good through ball, actually.
Good defense, by the way.
Yeah. Do you know Forest seemed to want it more than us?
Yeah. Yeah. That much has been evident all game. And that's the thing is like
that.
We had to match their energy and their intensity. And it's like we just came for a leisurely game of football. Like, it's all good, man, because we know where our bread and butter is at. And that's the thing is like when I see these performances, by the way, it makes me kind of side with you about you might as well have played the kids.
Yeah.
If this is the effort that our first team is putting out there in what I would consider still a big game against a Forest team that is chasing Champions League, it's like if this is the effort, I would rather see kids play because at least you're going to see effort.
Yeah, we're not even seeing effort. Like It's 71 minutes of just pure shite.
Yeah. Here's Tiny Danso. Ooh, he put one on. Tiny Danso put one on. Oh, he just missed it too. I think your mic's on mute, but
I'm just talking to Mrs. Tron. She's just come into the room. So sorry, we're back in 2 minutes. Sorry.
How you doing, Mrs. Tron? Absolutely, Dave. Absolutely agree.
Oh dear. Whenever we do, yeah, I agree. It's. I tell you what, it's like for me, right? Solanke. Look, I love Solanke's work, right, but he's not a striker that's going to get you back. Look at the manager. Look what Nuno's doing to that player on the touchline. He's explaining to him, "This is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to be like." And you look at that, and look, the one thing that frustrates me, Ange, he just stands there. There's nothing out of him. There's no enthusiasm. There's no passion. There's no nothing. It's like he's resigned to losing. He's resigned to.
Well, he also knows he's got a bunch of players that decide to switch on and off whenever they want. It's like that would drive me shithouse crazy if I was in charge of a team that doesn't give a shit all the time.
But isn't that job as a manager to inspire your team to on the touchline? If you're on the touchline and you're seeing this, I would bet my house that you'd be going shit stir crazy on the touchline. You'd be marching up and down that touchline, shouting and yelling.
Not only would I do that, but I would also call these players out in the media as well too. Like I would make it known that this is just not acceptable. The crazy thing about it is though, there's an old saying, right, Derma? You can only lead a horse to water.
Yeah. Woods is coming off for Forest.
Richie has had a bad game today, man.
Yeah, he has. And I get the keeping them on for minutes, but this is just. Yeah. I do you know what I think. Forget the Wolves game. I think this is under showing the Woods go again. And every time I see it, I just why Vicario are you doing that? You knobhead. Seriously.
At this stage, I would. You know what's interesting about it is I would bring Archie Gray into the game at this point.
I would too. I'm surprised he hasn't.
Let him have the remaining 15 minutes, and maybe you can kind of shade Johnson in maybe as an inside forward. Let Archie Gray play the sixth. Take Betancourt off or whatever you have to do. It's just at this point the game is lost. And look at Pedro Porro just crumbling.
I do you know what? I can take losing. I've always said it, like Steve. I've been quite, and I've said it to you a few times. I don't mind if we lose, right? I get every team loses a season, right? But it's showing passion. It's showing fight. Even if you go down fighting, I'm happy with that. But it's like there's nothing, and.
Yeah,
Forest deserved this, by the way. Forest have been a far better team. Yeah. They really do deserve this. Where does this leave, do you think? We all know the question is going to be asked in the press conference, and we know we're going to get an angry Ange and a bitchy Ange and a titchy Ange. Look, I get this is the bit that really gets me, Steve, right? Columns just sent me something. I read it out to you. Columns got a mate at the game actually. and he sent me something. So just give me 2 minutes. Where did I? Oh yeah, just need to change my glass. It's getting old. I need to put on reading glasses now. That shows how bad I've got. He said, "Can only hear Forest fans. Our fans have been silent. The whole team looks uncoached. No patterns of play or style anymore. I'm speechless." Had that sent by a mate who's at the game. I mean, I mean, can only hear Forest games. Forest fans. Where's our fans? And
that our fans went out the door when we conceded within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
First
The
5
whole
minutes of the
team
game.
looks uncoached, no patterns of play or style anymore. I'm speechless. What does that say to you, Steve? That says to me, the players, I don't care what anyone says. These players do not believe in this manager.
It tells me that they're going to show up against Bodo Glimt, and they've mailed in they've mailed in the Premier League season, and they will show up against Bodo Glimt because that is the only thing that they're focused on. That these Premier League matches mean nothing to them. And again, it gets back to the right mentality.
Yeah,
a lot of these players don't have the right mentality to compete. That they're picking and choosing when they want to show up to compete.
And that comes from the manager, by the way.
In some, it depends on the messaging, right? Is Ange telling these players that, the Premier League season's over? I want to see a hard 90, but really our focus is on Bodo. I don't know because I'm not in that locker room. But that being said, it's like look at Brendan Johnson right there, just not even trying.
No, look, if I was Daniel Levy looking at this tonight, I will pull the trigger tonight, and I'm saying that now. I don't care about Europa League. I don't care about whatever. You got players here that are paid hundreds of £1,000s a week to put on the performance, to pull on the shirt. There's fans there that pay good money to go and watch this team play, that have traveled, probably fans that have traveled from all over the world to come and watch this team play. And the least we can expect from them is 90 minutes of football. Not to turn up, not to try. A, they shouldn't be paid straight off. And B, I don't care about the Europa League. I want this for me.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And there's again, what a good save from the keeper. For me, this is not good enough. For me, this is criminal. This is signing your own death warrant. And if he has any self-respect for himself whatsoever, should be getting into them players tonight and drilling it into their thick skulls that the Premier League matters. This is where tonight we could have gone to 13th. I know to a lot of people, 13th means nothing. 13th means you get 2 wins in a row, you go up in the league, and that's more money for your transfer budget for next season, and it gives you momentum going into Liverpool. We're now going to go into Liverpool with our souls destroyed, with our confidence at rock bottom, and Liverpool are going to bully us.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing to see if this team does show up against Liverpool. It's a big game in the Premier League. It's an opportunity for them to win the Premier League against us, and I wonder if we're actually going to show up and show some heart and pride against Liverpool. Here's the interesting thing, though, right? It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility if Daniel Levy decides to sack him tonight. But that being said, though, you understand how much Daniel Levy likes Champions League money. And an opportunity to get there, that even if it's a small chance, do you think that Daniel Levy is going to mess with his own money? The answer is no. And I understand where you're coming from, right? Because it's amazing what a crappy performance will do to erase all the goodwill after that match against Frankfurt.
Yeah.
It's evaporated in 70. It's evaporated in 80 minutes of bad football.
Yeah. Just to let you know, on the little stat that was sent to me, right? This is Ben Davis is on the ball at the moment. Davis here. Ben Davis now to Brendan Johnson. Brendan Johnson to Ben Davis. Can he get it in? No. And Solanke is as good. Oh, Jesus Christ. Tottenham have lost 8 I've lost 8 or more home games in a single season during the 2003 to 2004 season league championship. That season, Spurs finished 14th in the table.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many games we've lost at home this season, but this will be our 18th league defeat of a season.
Oh, it's bad.
18. I mean, if Ipswich, right, were half decent, Super Spurs, yeah. If Ipswich, if the bottom 3 were any decent, right, we'd be in a relegation battle now.
Yeah, thank goodness for yo-yo clubs.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
today, yeah, I just.
Solanke just had a shot and he just shot it away from goal instead of on the goal.
Well, so that's on par with with Richarlison's misses. I'll just say this, man. It was I tend to lean in your direction as well too, right? Like if we lose, but at least make them earn it.
Exactly.
Which means you have to show up with intensity, you have to show up with passion, you actually have to show up understanding that Forest is going to give you a game. And you know, when you concede within 5 minutes, it shows that you really are not, you like really had no focus coming in.
No.
The thing about it is, and it always gets back to this, Derma, knowing that we're still alive for a potential Champions League spot next year. Will Daniel Levy roll? Does Levy roll the dice and sack him and roll with Ryan Mason for the rest of the season? Chances are probably not. He's going to let Ange have that first leg.
I get it. Hello, James. Is that a goal, James? Just give us a thumbs up. No. Okay. Forest go into third place, by the way. They go a point ahead of Newcastle, 2 points against Man City. Look, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. But this is not. Hello, we've got a goal. Spurs have got one.
By the way, and I'm actually happy for NUNO coming back to Tottenham and punking Tottenham the way that they did, because it shows the lack of foresight of a dude like Daniel Levy.
Yeah. Here's Forest. I think we are. Carl Simpson's got a goal. James is going nutty in the background. He is going nutty.
Big ball.
Hang on. Don't tell me. Let me watch it.
Lucas Bergvall.
Here's Spency. Spence now plays it forward. Oh, that's not a free kick.
Good
Kicks up the field. Forest goes. Here's good tackle by Ben Davis. Here's Forest now on the attack. Tottenham.
What a terrible through ball. Tell just stood there and watched it.
Good stuff from Spurs. Good defending. Good defending that was from Bentancur. Danso. Solanke suddenly doing something right in the game. Here's Solanke now. Getting his pulled shirt. Nuno looking for a free kick. He says, no, thank you very much. I'll get it back. And it is. I'm so far behind you. God knows. I'm so behind everyone here at the moment.
I think you're actually ahead of me.
I don't want to push it forward because I did pause it. Here's Danso now. Danso. To Porro. Porro now to Bentancur. Bentancur now. Here's Solanke. Solanke kicked out by Forest. Forest now. Here's Danso. Danso with the ball, looking for options. Kicks it over the head. Finds Porro. Porro now to Ben Davis. Ben Davis in the middle of the pitch, trying to look for some angles. Finds Bentancur. Bentancur.
Oh, nice.
Looking for options. Runs forward. Finds Porro in the ring. Checks. Goes back. Looking for another option through. Looking for. Here's Porro. Porro with a cross ball in. Richie! Yeah! Come on. Yeah! Come on.
Come on,
it's Richie. Richarlison. Come on.
Please, oh yeah.
Go on, Richie.
Like
do
Richie
the pigeon dance.
You.
Do the pigeon dance. Come on. Do the pigeon dance.
There it is.
What a go from Spurs. Good crossing as well. Here we go. We're now into 99 minutes. Still 2-1 Spurs. Come on, Richie. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a late equalizer? And here's
100%
Tell swings it. Oh, good header out. Ben Davis over the bar.
100%, Carl.
Yeah. There's Ange. Look, I know we've just celebrated a Richie goal, but still doesn't take away from how bad the performance has been, by the way. Even if we get a point out of this.
Can we equalize in the waning moments here to erase the 85 minutes of absolutely shitty football?
I wouldn't even call it that. I'll call it absolutely watching paint dry football.
Said I like to know where you got the dance, so don't rock the boat, dance.
Oh, come on, here's Ben Davis now. 5 minutes of time added on, guys. 5 minutes of time added on. Let me put that up for you now. Cross going in. Here's Richie. Oh, he misses it up. Has he gone with two up front, by the way? Has he gone with two up front?
It somewhat feels like that, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't we talk about that? Didn't we talk about that the other day about putting two up front?
Yeah, well, that's exactly how that game at Frankfurt finished. With five in the back, basically three center backs, two wing backs, and two technically up front, although they had 10 behind the ball. But that being said, it's like this is now. It feels like this is the second straight match where this is how it ended, and it almost makes me wonder. It almost makes me wonder whether or not, I don't know. Like, is this team potentially better suited with two up top? I don't know.
I think so. We look more better, but it is a free kick to Forest here. We're into the first minute of time added on. But look, I said it before. Look, Boris, but the ref, you can blame the ref all you want. It's about, you can blame a number of many things. You can blame the ref. You can blame Ange. You can blame the ball. You can blame, I don't know, the tea lady. It's the players that have not been committed tonight and not good enough.
It's funny that they were lackadaisical for 80 minutes and then show up in the last 10 minutes of the match. Ooh.
How many times have we said that?
Ooh. That was a rocket by Ben Davis.
Carl says, "Effing get in." Oh, he's just found an Easter egg. Oh, well done, Carl. Where did you find that, son?
Ben Davis with a rocket that just went 20 feet above the crossbar.
Yeah. Here is Forest now. Forest, look. Oh, God. He's just skipped by us 3. Forest, I mean, it rarely says it all. They got an FA Cup semi-final on Sunday, and the players are playing like they got no match on Sunday at all. And it's like us who have got the semi-final on Sunday. And I don't know. I don't know how. I'm just so glad when this season's over, Steve. I'm telling you now. I'll be just.
I'll be happy because now the summer transfer window opens and there's going to be a lot of fun shows during the summer transfer window.
I tell you what makes me laugh as well. It opens for 10 days because of the Club World Cup, and Chelsea and Man City just wanted it for them.
Yeah.
The Premier League went, no, it's for everyone.
That's what I'm looking. I'm looking forward to the season ending because it's been a train wreck of a season. But I'm also looking forward to the summer transfer window because you and I are going to have some fun shows on deck.
Yeah,
so
I'm actually looking forward to a week away, a holiday with Mrs. Tron. I can't wait for it. The first week in June. We're going away for a week, and I cannot wait.
Where are you guys going?
We're going to see our cousins in England for a week.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I hope you guys have a good time. I'm also going on holiday as well too at the end of May. So I'm looking forward to getting back to Seattle, seeing some family, and should be good.
It'd be nice for you.
Yeah.
We
go
leave
back
the
once
channel.
a year.
Yeah, we leave the channel in charge of James and Colin and that. They can run the channel for a week while we're on our holidays.
That's going to be a train wreck.
Oh, no, I think James would do a great job.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you, James.
Poor old James. Leave James
That's going to be
alone.
great. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm sure James is going to do it. I'm sure that he's going to do a bang up job.
Oh, I think we just missed it. Hello, we've got Porro rolling around on the floor again. I think he's just been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. I think he's got glass feet. You know.
Who's that?
I think that's what happens. I think with him.
Who's that?
Do you know what? Nuno's saying to me, Dermo, you call me a garden gnome. I have come back and told you I'm not a garden gnome.
Yep. There's Morgan Gibbs White coming off. Here comes Sota.
Oh, here's Forrest on the attack. Forrest now going to get a third to really put this game to bed. The dude crossed it in. Good header out from. Oh, the Forest player totally air kicked it. Here's Forrest now. Looking, here's Atawati. Atawati, he does get a free kick, and it is Bentacle asking, look, it's our ball. I ain't giving it back. Oh, you can back and have it now. The Forest player has gone down.
Home dude just dribbled through 4 Spurs defenders right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, fair play to Forest. I have to say they were the better team for the whole 90 minutes, to be fair.
Look at Bergvall. See, that's the thing. Bergvall's just... Dude, that dude just hustles.
Yeah. Well, look, we're in injury time. It's another free kick. Tell will be another one that come out with some excuses. This isn't good enough. This isn't good enough.
I love that. NUNO wins with Travelocity.
Yeah, then feckin', when you're on the pitch, do feckin' better then. Instead of complaining, saying sorry all the time, you dimwit.
You know what's funny is that that's funny because he says NUNO wins with Travelocity. What's funny is
that is it, guys. That is it. Tottenham have lost their 18th game of the season. We have lost 2-1 to Nottingham Forest at home. An absolute shambolic performance by Tottenham Hotspur. Every player should hang their head in shame. I can hear rumblings in Bill Nick's grave because he's absolutely spinning. Ange Postecoglou has... I can't even blame Ange Postecoglou for this. This is solely on the players. They have not turned up first half or second half, and it's not good enough, and I am angry. But we are going to bring James back on now. If James is ready, let us know. Thumbs up. I'll put us into a 3-way. So, hello. I don't know why we can't see you. Let's see. There we go. We're into a 3-way. Not 3-way, but a 3 thing. Yeah, I wasn't trying to go down that route, James. Steve, but yeah. James, look, what's your thoughts on it, man? I'm absolutely fuming. I don't care what anyone says. That was a diabolical performance. Hang on, he's on mute. He's on mute.
You're on mute, bud.
Yeah.
Sorry, my apologies. That was the biggest shower of shit I've witnessed. Look, Wolves was bad, but that was worse.
Yeah.
It was just terrible. I mean, look, I was messaging Steve, I was sending some comments out, and I agree with what you were saying during that second half. If we're writing off the Premier League, if we're writing off this season, if we're writing off the league, play the kids. Play the kids, let them show you what they've got. Because at the end of the day, they're going to play for the fucking shirt.
Yeah.
They're going to run their guts off. And we didn't. I mean, there were flashes, but again, it was too fucking negative, too passive. Oh, we'll keep the ball. And Notts Forest did not want the ball. They were like, you do what you want with that ball because we know you're not breaking us down. And good goal by Richie, don't get me wrong, but too little too late. Fucking disgraceful. Absolutely pissed off and gutted.
Steve, where are you with it? I'm just really...
Well,
I'm so dumbstruck by what I watched.
It was obvious, right? The messaging had to have been consistent from Thursday. to this day that you couldn't allow Forest to be on the front foot to start this thing. You had to control the pace and the tempo, and this team literally just did not match the intensity from the beginning of it. And it's like, when you look at the score line and you're going to look at the stat sheet and you're going to see that Spurs control possession, and they lost a close 1 goal. They lost by 1 goal, but the eye test says that this team literally did not show up until the 80th minute when they started ratcheting up the pressure, and they get their 1 goal to get a little, to whatever, to make sure their pride isn't completely lost, that they were able to get one on the score sheet. But the reality is like they literally just showed up today like it was like a training session, it just, for me, it's, you use the word shambolic. That's exactly right. What's interesting about it is I actually thought Wolves was worse because Wolves actually put 4 on the board and just made them look absolutely pathetic. What's funny, James, is you were saying that, this was worse, but yet Forrest was allowing us to have the ball. Like Wolves just put it down our throat. Wolves stepped on our throat and made us look just unbelievable. Today it's just, I don't know, man. I don't understand how you are a professional football going from one performance where you give your entire fan base hope that maybe you turn the corner, only to roll into the very next game and act like you don't give a shit.
Yeah. It's for me, it's how the season's gone all the way along. It's been like this since, and we can blame the injuries, we can blame this, but this solely and fairly falls on the players' shoulders. I swear to God, Ange does not tell them to go out, play like shit. I'm sure he's in that dressing room saying to the lads, right, go out there and show me what you can do. Go out and put another performance like you did against Frankfurt. Show these fans we're at home. And this is the players. And I don't think I think he's lost the dressing room. I don't know what you think, guys. I think we said that against Wolves.
I don't think he's lost the dressing room.
I just think this team understands that the Europa League is on deck, and they're going to show up for Europa League because they showed up. They showed up in the round of 16. They showed up in the quarterfinal, and chances are they're going to show up again in that first leg against Bodo Glimt. Right? It's just this loser's mentality where it's like, fuck it. The rest of the we're in 17th, and we're okay with that. We're okay with these. I understand. Like neither am I. But these players are like, okay, that's cool. We're just like we're okay with these half-ass performances the remainder of the Premier League, but we're like our bread and butter is over here, and we're going to make sure that that's going to be taken care of over 2 legs. But the rest of it is just it doesn't matter, and that's to me that boggles my mind that you're making X amount of dollars and you're supposed to show up. That your job is to show up and play hard, a hard 90. And this is what you give, and that's what frustrates me, right? Because as a player myself, when I played every game like it was my last. Now, granted, I didn't make Premier League money, but it didn't matter. You want to go out and you want to make sure you never want people to say that you suck. There were other players from other teams. I want them to know that I'm going to play my very best, because at the end of the day, you might not like me, but you can't say that you can't respect me because I go out there and I play hard. And it's like, dude, that to me baffles the ever living shit out of me. Like, how are you going to go home from today's match, look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you gave it your very best today, when you know for a fact that you didn't?
I'm going to love Ange's press conference. I'm going to love the excuses they're going to come out with this time. But listen, guys, we are going to leave there because we do have final score at 10:15. So we do have to get in and go over and get that started. Yeah. Thank you for joining us for the watch along. Thank you, Steve, for joining me again. Thank you, James, for coming on halftime and like full time. We will get your thoughts more on final score. Yeah. But another night of misery for Tottenham Hotspur. Another night of embarrassment, shambolic football. this isn't good enough. I don't care. I'm calling them players are out. They're an embarrassment to the shirt and an embarrassment to this club. I don't care if one side there's the Europa League. It all matters. Premier League matters. That is your bread and butter. We could have gone up to 13th tonight in the league. That's a great momentum to go into Liverpool. But we're going to Liverpool with our confidence on the floor, with our confidence. And I tell you one thing, Liverpool are going to, and I can't believe the side we're going to pick for Sunday with the game coming on Thursday. You know full well he's going to go rotate again. And I want to ask the question now. Well, the first question I'm going to ask in final score, and I'll get you guys sort of it in there. And then also for you guys in the chat, should he have gone strong tonight? The answer for me is yes. But Steve, where can people find you, sir?
Yeah, you can find me at Stateside Footy on YouTube, and of course, give me 1 second, real quick, and I'll do everyone a favor. You can find me right. You can find me right there at Stateside Footy on YouTube, which is in the chat right there. You can also find me on Twitter at Stateside Footy as well too. But if you're more of an Instagram type of fellow, you can also find me there at Stateside Footy.
James, where can people find you? I know you're coming on Fun Score, but where can people find you, sir?
Yeah, like I say, I'm still waiting on the IT department to pull the finger out. He's dragging his feet. I hope he's listening, because if he don't pull his finger out soon, I'm going to snap it off. Yeah, but hit me up in the video chat. I'm more than happy to reply, talk, chat, anything like that. If I will do my best to get something up so people can contact me for Sunday's game against Liverpool if I haven't heard anything.
Well, if not, then I'll link you into our X page. So I'll give you the login details for that, so people can contact you through there as well. Ask your man if anything is happening. I've already put feelers out.
Yeah, I will give him a message as soon as we drop off.
We're gonna see you in about 5 minutes for final score. Thank you, Steve, again. Thank you, James.
Yeah.
And thank you, guys. 936 of you joined us tonight for this watch along. Absolutely mad numbers once again. Thank you so much. And I tell you one thing, you've been with me all season. At every watch along, everyone's turned up. And the likes of Nita, Shamu, Wayne Bonner, everyone like that. Yes, final score is the Contact Spurs helpline. We will be here with myself, Dermo. With Steve will be on another phone, and James will be on the other phone. We will be ready to help you through this sad and traumatic time. And again, as me and James said before the start of the game, on our thoughts and prayers go to Pope Francis and his family of the sad loss as well. I thought it's a very sort of historic event, isn't it? And I think we big up Mr. Brady. God help us next Sunday. Yeah. Shamu says THFC 2 we die equals. I don't know what you mean by that, Shamu.
That's the greater than side. He's saying that our show is greater than the Irish Hotspur. And it's, by the way, I do appreciate that sentiment, Mr. Shamu Van de Vu, but
yeah,
the Irish Hotspur is also a very good program on YouTube.
No, Steve, sorry. No. We're the #1 Irish Spurs channel in Ireland. Dave.
Okay.
We are overtaking you. Wexford's better than Kildare. You know what I'm talking about, sir. It's me and Dave have banter. Because he lives in Kildare and Wexford, different counties. We have a bit of banter when it comes to that. That's Ange Postecoglou throwing something at the players. New manager for the semi-final. We will discuss that, Philip, unless you've got an inside scoop. Guys, we are going to leave it there. But thank you all for watching. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, and the big cockerel we trust. we have to support something. We might as well support the cockerel. That's something to get behind.
Exactly.
On that bombshell, I think that put a few rude things in people's heads, but I'm going to go and get myself into any more problems. All right, see you in a couple of minutes. 5 minutes with final score.
From lane to far and wide, with the pride of the fight on this journey.